Chapter 76. Vegeta, what's wrong with you? Raditz was a little confused. My brother's name is Kakarot. Didn't you know this a long time ago? What do you mean by asking this now? Nothing. Vegeta shook his head. Just asking. Vegeta suddenly remembered what Lu Fan once said to him. That guy named Kakarot will become his lifelong rival. Is this true or false? How can such a low-ranking soldier become my formidable enemy? Lu Fan, you are so funny. Vegeta, I remember you also have a younger brother. Nappa said. Humph. Vegeta was too lazy to say more. Your Highness, where is your brother? Nappa asked. Vegeta said nothing. Is your brother missing? Nappa murmured. Vegeta. Why does this sound a bit weird? Oh my god, my brother is missing. If you want to be a eunuch, just tell me earlier. Vegeta glanced at Nappa. Nappa looked confused. What does it mean? Why don't I understand what you mean? Raditz also scratched his head, a little confused. Forget it, I can't care about that anymore. I'll go to Earth first. Raditz, put on the detector and keep in touch at all times. Vegeta instructed Raditz. I'll leave now and expect to reach Earth in about 3 months. Raditz said. Then. Lord Vegeta, let's go to the Dota Star in the other direction to wait for Raditz and Kakarot. Nappa suggested. Let's do it. Vegeta nodded without objection. Raditz walked towards the universe ship. Speaking of detectors, Your Highness Vegeta, was your detector broken at the beginning? It was completely out of contact for a long time, just like your brother, he also lost contact. Nappa asked Vegeta. Vegeta clenched his fists. UFGBD. What did you say? It's as if I don't have a brother anymore. I'll find a chance to give you a good beating later. Humph, who knows? Vegeta snorted, maybe there's a malfunction, or maybe. What else could it be? Nappa asked. Vegeta glanced at Nappa. Nappa quickly shut up. What Vegeta actually wanted to say was that maybe that guy Lu Fan modified my detector, making it impossible for us to contact Frieza and the others. I was wondering why the detector was so quiet at that time. This guy Lu Fan is actually guarding against Frieza. If you go to Dota, after I pick up Kakarot, it will take more than 10 months to meet you. Raditz turned his head and smiled the moment he stepped onto the universe spaceship. Ha ha ha, so seeing you in more than a year. Nappa smiled. Okay, see you in a year. Raditz waved and boarded the universe spaceship. Call out. Raditz's mini-universe ship quickly sank into the void and disappeared without a trace in a flash. Vegeta, shall we go too? Nappa suggested. Vegeta did not object, turned around, and was about to leave the planet with the supplies. However, the moment Vegeta turned around, he suddenly saw Lu Fan appear behind him. Vegeta was stunned for a moment. Nappa was also slightly stunned. Who is this guy? Why does it look familiar? Lu Fan. Vegeta quickly recognized Lu Fan. After all, Sion's hairstyle will not change from birth to adulthood. Although this Lu Fan is a clone, he is exactly the same as the original. Your Highness, long time no see. Lu Fan greeted with a smile. Why are you here? Vegeta snorted, stepped forward and asked Lu Fan. Is it really Lu Fan? Nappa was also a little confused. This guy is Lu Fan. Then, Nappa subconsciously pressed the detector on his eyes. Nappa wants to see what Lu Fan's fighting power is now. Then, Nappa was surprised to find out. Lu Fan's combat power is 0. There is absolutely no fighting power left. Nappa. This stuff is totally ruined. What are you wearing? Vegeta felt a little uncomfortable when he saw Lu Fan wearing Supreme Kai's clothes. Your Highness, have you been okay these years? Lu Fan asked. Humph, of course. Vegeta snorted. What is your current combat power? Lu Fan asked. 18,000 Vegeta said calmly. Have you grown up eating shit all these years? Lu Fan shook his head and sighed. What did you say? Vegeta exploded. Nappa. Lu Fan, you are so brave. How dare you insult His Highness like this? Vegeta's combat power has reached 18,000, and you still say that he grew up eating shit. Can eating shit improve your combat effectiveness? That is to say, your combat effectiveness has only increased by 3,000 in these 20 years. Lu Fan sighed. Humph. Stop talking nonsense to me. Do you think it will be easy to improve your combat power after it reaches nearly 20,000? Vegeta snorted. Besides, the 3 years I spent with you on the gourmet planet were simply a waste of time. Your Highness, look at you, you're irritable again. Lu Fan sighed, when will you become a Super Saiyan like this? Super Saiyan? Humph, I get angry when I talk about Super Saiyan. The method that Dragon said is totally useless. Vegeta clenched his fists tightly in anger, and his whole body was shaking. Super Saiyan. Nappa looked confused. How did you end up talking about Super Saiyan? I've heard about Super Saiyan as well. But I don't know much. Lu Fan, you still have the nerve to say that to your Highness? Take a look at your own fighting power. Nappa snorted. Shut up, why are you so annoying? Lu Fan looked at Nappa and said. Nappa. Lu Fan, do you still think you are the genius warrior you once were? Nappa's face turned cold. You talk too much nonsense. Vegeta frowned and kicked Nappa hard, hitting him directly in the chest. Nappa was unfortunately hit and flew backwards before he could react. Bang! Nappa's body felt like it had pierced through a huge rock, and he tumbled 7 or 8 times on the ground. After Nappa landed on the ground, his head tilted and he fainted. Lu Fan. Do you have a natural dislike for Nappa? Humph, that talkative guy finally fainted. Vegeta snorted, tell me, you just came to me, right? Is there something you can't solve that you need my help with? Lu Fan was a little touched. Is this guy still Vegeta? He actually wanted to take the initiative to help me. I am deeply relieved to hear you say this. Lu Fan sighed. Chapter 77. Stop talking nonsense. Vegeta snorted, I'm busy, hurry up. I do need your help with something. Lu Fan said. Humph, that's what I told you. Vegeta smiled slightly, tell me, with my current fighting power, I can basically walk sideways in this universe. Lu Fan. With a combat power of only 18,000, he's still walking sideways in the universe. Sooner or later you will kill yourself if you keep doing this. Just like Supreme Kai brought his own death upon himself. Vegeta, have you heard of gods of destruction? Lu Fan asked. Gods of destruction? Sounds familiar. Vegeta pondered, but I can't remember it all of a sudden. You can understand that the gods of destruction are the most powerful gods in this universe. Lu Fan smiled. I remember now. Vegeta slapped his head, when I was 5 years old, I remember a god of destruction came to the palace and seemed to ask my father to find him the most comfortable pillow in the universe. Vegeta still remembers that his father seemed to have given him the most comfortable pillow in the universe. Then gave the gods of destruction the second most comfortable pillow. Because of this, the gods of destruction was very angry and rubbed my father's head on the ground for a long time. This left a psychological trauma in Vegeta's young mind. Yes, it's the gods of destruction. Lu Fan nodded. That guy seems to be a cat person. Vegeta said. By the way, he is dead. Lu Fan said. What? Dead? Vegeta was surprised and happy at the time. This happiness came too suddenly. This guy actually died. It's retribution. Is it because the pillow is too comfortable that I fell asleep? Vegeta thought to himself. Lu Fan. Hehe, you're right. Lu Fan said. Vegeta. There was a brief silence. What do you mean? Are you going to let me take over that guy's position as gods of destruction? Vegeta asked. Yes, that's what I mean. Lu Fan nodded. Tisk, I'm not interested in God. Vegeta shook his head, as long as I become a Super Saiyan, what does God matter? Didn't the gods of destruction get beaten by me, a Super Saiyan? Lu Fan covered his face, speechless. Who gives you the confidence? Well, your current strength is indeed too poor. Even if I let you become the gods of destruction, you are not qualified. Lu Fan sighed, how about this, I will take you to a place where you can practice well. Whose strength are you saying is too weak? My combat power is as high as 18,000. Vegeta's face showed anger. And said I was not qualified. Where can you find a Saiyan with 18,000 combat power? I'm probably the most powerful scion in history, right? Lu Fan said nothing more, stepped forward and put his hand on Vegeta's shoulder. Take your hands off me, Vegeta yelled. Vegeta, my patience is limited, you'd better behave yourself, or I'll hit you hard and it will hurt. Lu Fan said with a dark face. Why is this guy so stubborn? He doesn't know what's good for him. I'm going to take you to improve your combat effectiveness. Don't you appreciate it? Do you think you're my opponent? Vegeta snorted. Bang! Lu Fan slapped over, directly on the back of Vegeta's neck. Vegeta's pupils shrank sharply and his consciousness became increasingly blurred. Pa! Vegeta collapsed to the ground, completely unconscious. Just deserves a beating. Lu Fan sighed. Then, Lu Fan grabbed Vegeta's tail and used his body as a mop to move slowly on the ground. Where should I go? We need to find someone to train Vegeta. I still don't want to look for Whis. It's a bit too early to look for Whis now. And Vegeta is such a troublemaker. Let's start with the basics. Lu Fan thought while dragging Vegeta across the planet. When he walked to Nappa, Lu Fan stepped over him. Nappa whimpered, opened his eyes, and woke up immediately. Nappa stood up reflexively. Bang! However, when Nappa raised his head, he bumped into Vegeta's head. There was a muffled sound in the two people's heads. Nappa was stunned. Vegeta opened his eyes, a little confused. Bang! Then, Vegeta's body slipped off Nappa's and hit the stone next to Nappa. Vegeta fainted again. Okay, it's decided. Let that guy teach Vegeta the basic skills first. Lu Fan made up his mind. Swish! The next moment, Lu Fan performed instant transmission. In just a moment, Lu Fan and Vegeta disappeared without a trace. King Kai's planet. King Kai is basking in the sun on the planet. Swish! Suddenly, Lu Fan appeared opposite King Kai with Vegeta via instant transmission. King Kai also immediately felt the movement around him, opened his eyes, rubbed his eyes, and looked at Lu Fan opposite him. This outfit. This, looks like Supreme Kai. King Kai rubbed his eyes vigorously again. Is this true or false? Is this guy Supreme Kai? Shouldn't Supreme Kai have silver white hair? When did you change your hair to black? No, when did they change? However, when King Kai took a closer look, he became completely sober at that moment. It's Supreme Kai. That's right. Greetings, Lord Supreme Kai. King Kai quickly turned over and knelt down. Get up, King Kai. Lu Fan said. Yes, Lord Supreme Kai. King Kai wiped the sweat off his face quietly. I don't know what Supreme Kai is doing on my planet. Could it be that the last time I peed at the starry sky, an impolite act that insulted the divine world, was seen by Supreme Kai? No. That's not the point. The point is, how did Supreme Kai change into this image? And who is that guy he's dragging? It looks a little familiar. King Kai thought a lot at once. I wonder what Lord Supreme Kai wants to talk to me about. King Kai asked timidly and respectfully. See this guy? Lu Fan let go of Vegeta and said to King Kai. This person is. I seem to have seen him somewhere. King Kai was slightly stunned, and suddenly a light bulb went off in his mind, and he remembered something. I know, he is Scion, he is Scion's Prince Vegeta. To be precise, it should be Vegeta 4. That's right. Lu Fan nodded. Sir Supreme Kai, what do you need me to do? Do you want me to keep him under guard? King Kai asked hurriedly. This guy has committed all kinds of evil in the universe, killing many innocent people and destroying many planets. He is simply the root of evil. If conditions permit, you should kill him. King Kai became indignant as he spoke. Chapter 78. Roar, Ba. King Kai spat at Vegeta. This villain. King Kai was furious. If I had the ability, I would have killed this guy long ago. Lu Fan. By the way, Supreme Kai, with your strength, you should be able to easily kill him. King Kai asked excitedly, you brought him here, do you want to personally show me how to destroy this demon? I'm Scion too. I'm Vegeta's sparring partner, or you can think of me as a follower. Lu Fan replied calmly. King Kai's expression gradually froze. King Kai was still a little confused. Supreme Kai is Vegeta's follower? Why can't I get around this turn? You are Vegeta's follower. You are still Supreme Kai. Then what am I, the king of the realm? Am I Vegeta's younger brother? King Kai's mind is a little confused. King Kai glanced and saw the saliva he had spit on Vegeta's forehead. King Kai shuddered and hurried forward to wipe the saliva off Vegeta's forehead. Ha ha ha, just kidding, this prince is really cute. King Kai smiled awkwardly, especially when he fainted, his posture was so graceful and standard, like he was an outstanding sleeping prince. Lu Fan. What the hell is this sleeping prince? I brought him to you because I want you to train him. Lu Fan said. Me? Train him? King Kai was confused again. His strength has far surpassed mine, how can I train him? For example, teach him how to learn Kaioken or something like that, or teach him how to use Chi or something like that. Lu Fan ordered, I'm very busy and don't have time to teach him. When you've finished teaching him, I'll take him away. Well. King Kai pondered. What? You don't agree? Lu Fan smiled. No, 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 it's my honor to be able to teach Vegeta-sama in person. King Kai immediately replied, and then asked carefully, I wonder how long will Supreme Kai need me to teach him? Let's tentatively plan for about a month. Lu Fan said. 1 month, okay, no problem, leave it to me. King Kai breathed a sigh of relief. How long did I think it would take to teach? It turns out it's only 1 month. Let alone a month, even a year is nothing. King Kai patted his chest. Okay, let's change it to 1 year. Lu Fan said. Kai. Are you trying to trick me here? Speaking of which, although it may be a bit rude for me to ask this, I still want to ask, that. King Kai murmured. Since you know it's impolite, why ask? Lu Fan replied. King Kai remained silent. King Kai wanted to ask Lu Fan if he was the newest Supreme Kai. But since Lu Fan said he was rude, King Kai had no choice but to shut up. Hey, wake up, Your Highness. Lu Fan said, stepping on Vegeta's face and waking him up. Kai. How rude. Are you sure you are his follower? I see. I finally figured it out. You used to be his follower. But after you become Supreme Kai, you are no longer his henchman. That's what I said. I don't want to be this guy's younger brother. After King Kai figured this out, he was so excited that he almost cried. Vegeta woke up slowly. Then Vegeta jumped up from the ground, glared at Lu Fan, and was about to attack Lu Fan. However, the next moment, Vegeta suddenly realized that something was wrong. Where is this place? Vegeta noticed the weirdness of the planet and the strange changes in the surrounding environment. There is also a layer of golden clouds above this planet. What are those golden clouds? Vegeta glanced and spotted King Kai standing nearby. Who is this shorty? Vegeta asked. Kai. Thousands of alpacas passed through King Kai's mind. Who are you calling shorty? Is that polite of you to say? I'm very short, but you're not much taller either. Come here, Your Highness, let me introduce you. Lu Fan waved at Vegeta, then pointed at King Kai and introduced, this is King Kai, the god who governs the northern universe. King Kai? God. Vegeta was a little confused. How did I end up in God's realm? Supreme Kai is me. Lu Fan said. Vegeta. Kai. What? You became the Supreme Kai. Vegeta was stunned and looked at Lu Fan with wide eyes. Vegeta even forgot to attack Lu Fan. Yet. Lu Fan smiled and nodded. Humph, even if he becomes a god, it's nothing. Compared to Super Saiyan, it's nothing. Vegeta snorted, Super Saiyan kills gods when he meets gods and demons when he meets demons. Too murderous. King Kai sighed and muttered softly. Why did you bring me here? Vegeta ignored King Kai and asked Lu Fan. During the time you were unconscious, I have already discussed with King Kai that you should practice with him for a year. Lu Fan said to Vegeta, I am very busy and have no time to train you. When I raise the overall score of the 7th universe to the 1st place, I will come to find you. What a mess. Vegeta didn't understand. But there was one sentence that Vegeta understood. That means I can practice with this shorty. Is he as strong as me? You want me to practice with him? That's it, good luck. Lu Fan said, and disappeared through instant transmission. Lu Fan is still busy with work. I will never give up until I get first place. I still don't believe it. After all my efforts, can't the 7th universe take first place? And Gods of Destruction is also me. I am both Supreme Kai and Gods of Destruction. My work is coordinated best. Lu Fan went to work again. Zeno Temple, outside. The Grand Priest is observing the 7th universe. Not long after, Whis came whistling from a distance and landed opposite the Grand Priest. Greetings, Grand Priest. Whis bowed. Get up. Grand Priest nodded gently. Grand Priest, you have seen everything about the 7th universe, right? Whis said with a smile. I see. I didn't expect that in just 20 years, Lu Fan has managed the 7th universe so neatly, and even brought its comprehensive rating index close to 2nd place. Grand Priest said with satisfaction. Wow, this also proves that I have a keen eye for talent. Whis covered his mouth and laughed secretly. Your new blood came just in time. Grand Priest groaned, if the situation continues as before, the 7th universe will definitely be eliminated. Oh my, is Lord Zeno going to wipe the universe again? Whis wiped the sweat off his face. Chapter 79. But now these 4 universes, if they continue to fight among themselves like this. Grand Priest became worried again. Grand Priest, there is a new word called involution. It is more appropriate to describe it as involution. Whis corrected. Grand Priest. Grand Priest, do you mean to stop letting them roll any further? Whis asked, if they continue to roll, the other universes will fall too far behind. Yes, that's exactly what I want to say. The consequence of that is that all other universes will be eliminated, and in the end only 5 or 4 universes will be left. Grand Priest nodded, take some time to take Lu Fan on a trip and give him a vacation. Also, isn't he going to train new Gods of Destruction for your universe? Let him do it as soon as possible. For the other universes, I will also let the angels give Supreme Kai and Gods of Destruction a vacation. Why not let your sister marry him? This way he'll be able to focus for a while and won't be so entangled in the universe. Whis suggested. Grand Priest. How much of his coke did you drink? Grand Priest's face darkened. Haha, just a joke. Whis laughed secretly. You will be responsible for this matter, the Grand Priest instructed. See if there is any suitable solution. You can bring it up for discussion together. Grand Priest, why don't we hold a battle of Gods of Destruction and invite a few Gods of Destruction to participate? Whis suggested. This is also a good idea. It's up to you to decide how to do it specifically. Grand Priest nodded in agreement. Yes, Grand Priest. Whis replied. New universe. Lu Fan, you have raised the overall score of the 7th universe from the 2nd to last to the 3rd best, and you are still working so hard. Ruosi sighed. I want to be first. Lu Fan said. Is first place so important? Ruosi shook her head helplessly. As long as the comprehensive index reaches a certain level, there is no need to improve it. It doesn't matter what place you are in. No. If I don't take first place, I won't be the best Gods of Destruction and Supreme Kai. Lu Fan replied confidently. Well, if our universe was as big as the other 12 universes, our universe would have been number 1 long ago. Rose sighed. We need to develop our new universe slowly, there's no rush. Lu Fan said with a smile. Yes, in these 20 years, I feel that we have cooperated very well. Ruosi said softly. You must not fall in love with me. Lu Fan said suddenly. Ruosi was stunned. There was a brief silence. Why do you say that? Ruosi looked puzzled. If you marry me, you can only be a mistress. You can't be older than your sister, right? That wouldn't be appropriate. Lu Fan sighed. Rose. When did I say I wanted to marry you? Ruosi wiped the sweat off her face. That's good, that's good. Lu Fan nodded. Ruosi felt unwell all over. That's too bad. It makes you sound like I will not marry anyone but you. Humph, how annoying. By the way, there is one thing I have always forgotten to ask. Lu Fan said. I don't want to answer. Rose snorted. It's okay, I'm just asking casually. You can answer when you want to. Lu Fan said with a smile. Rose pricked up her ears. Lu Fan stopped talking. Rose. Hey, say something. Rose said with a dark face. What? Lu Fan asked. Didn't you say you wanted to ask me a question? Rose said through gritted teeth. Well, what I want to ask is, isn't it said that after the gods of destruction died, Angel will also fall asleep? Lu Fan asked this question. Why is Whis still running around after the former gods of destruction Beerus of the 7th universe disappeared? Who said that after the gods of destruction died, Angel would fall asleep as well? Rose was stunned and asked. That's what future Whis said. Lu Fan replied. Rose. Have you been to the future? There was nothing to be surprised about Rose. As a Supreme Kai, it is normal to go to the future to observe the universe sometimes. Lu Fan smiled noncommittally. If left alone, it will fall dormant for about a month. We must find a suitable gods of destruction to take over. Rose said with a smile. So, if I didn't become the gods of destruction, Whis would have fallen asleep. Lu Fan pondered. Rose wiped the sweat off her face. How about I stop being gods of destruction? Let him sleep for a while. Lu Fan said with a smile. Rose wiped the sweat off her face again. You really thought of it? I'm just kidding, don't take it seriously. Lu Fan grinned. Rose. Over the years, I feel like my temper has made you more and more easily angry. Our angel is originally very good-tempered. Since I cooperated with you, you always make me mad. The 7th universe, King Kai's planet. Vegeta just looked down at King Kai. That's right, look down on him. King Kai. You are only about 10 centimeters taller than me. How dare you look down on me like this? This guy is so shameless. If it weren't for Supreme Kai, do you think I would teach you? Hey, shorty, is Lu Fan your boss? Vegeta suddenly spoke. Don't call me shorty. I'm a god. You're a human. You should call me Lord Kaio. King Kai's nose was crooked with anger, and he shouted angrily, also, don't call Lord Supreme Kai by his name. You should call him Lord Supreme Kai. Even if you want to call him by his name, you should add Lord Kai after his name. Tisk, why are you talking so much nonsense? I don't care who you are. Vegeta snorted. King Kai. Let me ask you, are you qualified to teach me how to improve my combat power? Vegeta smiled gently. King Kai didn't want to talk anymore. How about this, I'll give you a chance to teach me and improve my fighting ability. Vegeta continued, the method is simple, defeat me. King Kai wipes his sweat. Or are you simply no match for me? Vegeta grinned, revealing a row of white teeth. I'm sorry, I'm really no match for you in terms of fighting ability. King Kai lowered his head. King Kai is well aware of the gap between himself and Vegeta. I really can't beat you. This is an indisputable fact. I don't have to fight you. Tisk, you're giving in so quickly? Aren't you the god who rules the Northern Universe? Our planet Vegeta is in the Northern Universe, right? That means you're the god in charge of our star region, right? Vegeta smiled. King Kai didn't want to talk anymore. You say I'm a coward, I admit it. After all, I can't beat you. Chapter 80. There was a brief silence. Although I am no match for you, I can make you stronger. Supreme Kai felt very complicated when he reached this point. Why should I let him continue to get stronger? Such a demon. If he continues to become stronger, the entire universe will be in danger. But this is an order from Supreme Kai, I can't disobey. You said you could make me stronger. Vegeta snorted in disbelief. Yes. King Kai nodded, I can teach you. However, King Kai had not yet finished his words. Bang! Vegeta suddenly threw a punch, hitting King Kai hard in the abdomen. Puff! King Kai spat out a mouthful of blood at that moment and felt like he was not feeling well. Pa! King Kai sat down on the ground, his face turned pale and became extremely ugly. Supreme Kai adult! You are such a jerk! You want me to teach a guy like this? I can't beat him. Chi. At this moment, the gorilla Beerus rushed out of the room aggressively and scratched Vegeta with his claws. Bang! Vegeta waved his hand lightly and slapped Beerus away. Beerus rolled several times on the ground, and when he stopped, he had fainted on the spot. Hehe, after all, you two are of the same race. Do you think it's appropriate for you to be so cruel? King Kai said through gritted teeth. What did you say? Did you say I look like a gorilla? Vegeta got angry and stepped on King Kai's body, rubbing it back and forth on the ground. Kai. Although we Scion can transform into giant apes, we are humans, not gorillas. Vegeta shouted, do you understand? Don't confuse me with that kind of monster. King Kai gritted his teeth and said nothing. Vegeta rubbed King Kai with his feet for a while, then let go when he felt it was boring. Then, Vegeta sat down on King Kai's recliner. I'm hungry, get me something to eat or I'll beat you up again, Vegeta ordered. Kai. Are you treating me like a donkey? This guy is so rampant. An unknown planet. Nappa rubbed his head and finally woke up. Nappa is a little confused now. I seem to have been knocked unconscious by a kick from Lord Vegeta. I didn't provoke you. Nappa looked quickly around. Nappa didn't find out where Vegeta was. I didn't see Lu Fan either. And Vegeta's universe ship is still there. What are you doing? Nappa scratched his bald head, with endless confusion in his eyes. What's the meaning? Have I left myself here? Most likely Vegeta left on Lu Fan's universe spaceship. Yeah, that makes sense. Nappa thought about it carefully and decided to send a letter to Vegeta. Immediately, Nappa pressed the button on the detector and dialed Vegeta's communicator. No signal. How strange. How come Lord Vegeta's detector has no signal? Did he go to a very remote star region? If not, I'll go to that planet by myself first. Or wait a little longer, maybe they will come back? Nappa waited here for another 2 days, but found that there was still no sign of Vegeta and Lu Fan, so he had to leave on the universe spaceship. Some time passed like this. Whis learned from Rose that Lu Fan wanted to get the first place in the overall level index of the entire universe. So that's how it is. I understand, Rose. Whis nodded. I'll contact Avamo and Korin right away and ask them to stop the Supreme Kai. Some things are as bad as too little. You should understand this, Rose. You mean to let the first universe and the 8th universe give way to Lu Fan? Let him take first place. I understood. Yeah, Whis replied, if he gets first place, maybe he won't work so hard anymore. Okay, I get it. Come on, brother Whis. Ruosi responded. He didn't hear it. Whis asked quietly. No, Lu Fan went to inspect the universe. Ruosi smiled. That's good. It prevents us from being caught cheating. Whis grinned. Actually, I think it's a good thing to let Lu Fan work hard, so that he won't be idle. I don't know how much trouble he will cause. Ruosi murmured. Grand Priest and I have discussed it and plan to have a battle of gods of destruction. We are going to find a way to provoke a battle between the gods of destruction. Whis said. A battle between gods of destruction? If so many gods of destruction fight, can the universe bear it? Rose wiped her sweat. Are we going to fight in the realm of nothingness? This hasn't been decided yet. I'll think about it carefully. Whis replied. Okay. Rose responded. 3 months later. Multi-Tower Star. Nappa's expression became more and more solemn. Because Raditz is about to die. He was shot through the heart by his brother and a man named Piccolo, and he probably wouldn't survive. Raditz, you're so pitiful. You were killed by a man with a combat power of just over 1,000. Nappa said to Raditz through the communication system on the detector. Raditz. I'm almost dying and you're still making sarcastic remarks. Are you a bad person? Stop talking nonsense and come here to avenge me. Raditz said weakly. I will. Nappa replied, rest in peace. There is a magical thing called Dragon Ball on this planet. I heard that it can make any wish come true. Raditz said, if possible, find that thing, and revive me. Got it. Nappa replied. Where's Lord Vegeta? Raditz asked again, why isn't he talking? I'm almost dying, why isn't he saying a word? You talk too much. Nappa was speechless. I don't know where His Highness Vegeta and Lu Fan went. Lu Fan. Raditz was stunned again. Okay, rest in peace. Nappa sighed. Earth. Raditz didn't intend to die immediately. He chuckled at Piccolo on Earth and said, he, you idiot. My companions have known everything that happened just now through the detector. They will come to avenge me. What did you say? Piccolo's face was covered with sweat. You two guys, and everyone on this planet will be wiped out in an instant. Raditz sneered, when that happens, my friends will use that Dragon Ball thing to revive me. Come, how many people? Son Goku asked, when will you come? 1 year later, 1 or 3 people will come. Raditz said. 1 person? Or 3 people? Piccolo frowned, what do you mean? The other 2 are not with my companion for the time being, but they will definitely get in touch. Raditz snorted, the chances of you winning next time are almost 0. Just enjoy the happiness of life within the next year. Piccolo gritted his teeth in hatred. Chapter 81. He, I believe that was just a fleeting joy. You are just a few little caterpillars. Raditz laughed. Hey! Piccolo couldn't stand it anymore and slapped Raditz to death. Nappa! Without Vegeta, should I go to Earth by myself? Well, I'll go to Earth first and avenge that Raditz. As for the Dragon Ball that can grant any wish, why don't I find that thing and ask Dragon Ball to make me a Super Saiyan? While that guy Vegeta is away, I can walk sideways on Earth. Nappa was ecstatic. Okay, let's do it. Call out. Nappa's universe spacecraft quickly disappeared into the sky and roared towards the direction of the Earth. After half a year of hard work, the comprehensive level index of the 7th universe, which Lu Fan was concurrently in charge of, finally reached the first place in the ranking of all universes. The second place is the first universe. The third place is still the 8th universe. The fourth place is the 5th universe. The 5th place is the 12th universe. As for the 6th place, it has been left far behind by the 12th universe. For example, the 12th universe, which is currently ranked 5th, has an overall score of 20.7. However, the 6th placed universe only had an overall score of 7.6. The 7th universe ranked first, with an overall score of 23.8. Finally got first place. Lu Fan breathed a sigh of relief. However, it seems that the first universe and the 8th universe have been a bit passive and slack in the past 6 months. Forget it. Never mind. It's time to take a good rest. No, roll it harder. What if the first universe catches up? Now the comprehensive score index of the first universe is 23.1, which is not much different from the 7th universe. Lu Fan spent another half a year to raise the comprehensive score index of the 7th universe to 31. During the past 6 months, the comprehensive score index of the first universe and the 8th universe has not increased very much, only around 24. Anat, Ilu, have you too discovered that I have raised the comprehensive index to a very high level, so you gave up on yourselves? Lu Fan contacted the Supreme Kai of the first universe and the 8th universe through the crystal ball. The Supreme Kai from the first universe and the 8th universe both cursed. I won't let you play like this. Angel on our side asked us to be quiet. But you turned out to be fine. There you are working hard to develop your 7th universe. So shameless. Come on, I'm waiting for you to catch up with me. Lu Fan grinned. Anat. Ilu. The 2 Supreme Kai remained silent. It's okay. I called you just to show off to you. Lu Fan said with a smile, and then ended the call. The 2 Supreme Kai were so angry that their teeth were itching. The other side. Whis is also talking to Angel Avamo from the first universe and Angel Korin from the 8th universe. Oh my, without realizing it, the comprehensive index of our universe has surpassed yours by so much. Whis sighed. You did this on purpose, didn't you? Whis. Colin said with a dark face. Whis, you are so shameless. You asked us to stop the development, but your Supreme Kai and Gods of Destruction in the 7th universe are working desperately. Awamo sighed. Wow, it seems that it was a right decision to choose Supreme Kai and Gods of Destruction as the same person. Whis said with a smile. Let's quickly revive that guy Beerus. If things continue as planned with Lu Fan, there's really no need for the other universes to exist. Colin said with a wry smile. Yes, it's time to resurrect Lord Beerus. Whis nodded. Whis, you are so shameless. Korin said, even if Beerus is resurrected now, and he and Supreme Kai do nothing, your universe will still rank among the top in the comprehensive index in the next 100 years or so. Thank you. Whis covered his mouth and laughed secretly. The 6th universe, the planet Kampa. Time flies. It's been 20 years, right? Kampa sighed and looked up at the sky. I suddenly want to drink Coke. Oh my, now that Lord Kampa mentions that, I really miss the taste of Coke. Vados nodded slightly. Hey, what has Lu Fan been doing these days? How is he developing the 7th universe? Kampa asked. Master Kampa, don't you know yet? Vados asked after a pause. Know what? Kampa asked. Lu Fan has raised the overall rating index of the 7th universe to 31. Vados replied. 31? What does this mean? Kampa didn't have a deep understanding of this. Because there was no such thing as a comprehensive rating index before. Then Lord Kampa, do you know what the comprehensive rating index of our 6th universe is? Vados asked again. Hey, 31 in the 7th universe? Our 6th universe should be at least 40, right? Kampa snorted, the Supreme Kai of the 7th universe left a mess for Lu Fan. No matter how hard Lu Fan works, he is still far behind our universe. The overall rating index of our universe is only 4.2. Vados sighed. What did you say? Only 4.2. Kampa said in a lost voice, Vados, don't be ridiculous. The decimal point doesn't exist, does it? Vados said nothing more. How is this possible? The 7th universe is such a mess, could this kid have developed it to this extent? Kampa was extremely shocked. Yes. Vados nodded. How long will it take for our universe's Supreme Kai Fuwa to retire? Kampa held his chin in thought. Leading. Ahem, Master Kampa, it's not just Supreme Kai who can raise the ratings, Vados sighed. It sounds like there's a gods of destruction in the 7th universe. Kampa snorted. Normally, Mr. Frisia, a subordinate of Mr. Beerus, would also lead his army to destroy planets, so the work of gods of destruction is basically done by Mr. Frisia. Vados replied, of course, Lu Fan would sometimes destroy a few planets casually. Damn Beerus, everyone disappeared, but I'm still working so hard. Kampa bared his teeth, why can't I find such a caring brother? Vados said nothing. There was a brief silence. Beerus is your brother. He disappeared. Isn't Lord Kampa sad at all? Vados asked. Why should you be sad? Kampa snorted. So, Master Kampa has been secretly searching for the Super Dragon Ball for the past 20 years, isn't it for the purpose of resurrecting Master Beerus? Vados smiled. Kampa. How is this possible? I was looking for the Super Dragon Ball, just to have some Coke. Yes, that's it. Kampa had no intention of admitting it. Chapter 82. So, has Master Kampa collected all 7 Dragon Balls? Vados smiled. No, there's only one left. I searched the entire 6th and 7th universes but couldn't find it. Kampa said through gritting his teeth. Really? Vados suppressed a laugh. Hey, Vados, do you know where this Dragon Ball is? Kampa asked. I don't know either. Maybe one day it will jump out by itself. Vados looked up at the sky. I always feel like you are hiding something from me. Kampa pondered. Really? Vados didn't admit it. What Kampa didn't know was, the last Dragon Ball has been hidden by Whis. Whis had already discovered that Kampa was looking for the Super Dragon Ball. Back then, Whis was afraid that Kampa would resurrect Beerus. In that case, wouldn't the comprehensive rating index of our universe, which has been improved with great difficulty, be reverted? So Whis hid the Super Dragon Ball using Angel's power. Kampa searched for 20 years but couldn't find the last Dragon Ball. The 7th universe, King Kai Star. Bang, bang, bang. Vegeta knocked King Kai to the ground with 3 punches and 2 kicks. Kai. What sin have I committed? During these 9 months, I was almost broken. This damn Scion. No, this damn Vegeta. I can't curse all Scion yet. The new Supreme Kai is actually a Scion. I am speechless too. Humph, you think you can teach me and improve my fighting ability just like this? Vegeta snorted, showing a look of disdain. The chimpanzee Bobrus had become completely scared and was playing in the mud, not daring to even breathe. Can you contact Lu Fan? I need to leave this place as soon as possible. It's too boring. Vegeta snorted. I can't contact Supreme Kai either. We can only wait for Supreme Kai to come find us. King Kai replied. I wish you'd get out of here right away. Bang. The two were talking. A man in orange clothes suddenly fell from the sky and landed heavily on the ground of the planet. Vegeta was stunned. King Kai also looked shocked. Who is coming? Ouch, what's going on? There's something wrong with the ground. Son Goku bared his teeth. It's so weird, it's like some force is sucking me in, my body feels as heavy as if it were filled with lead. Son Goku said, gritting his teeth and trying to stand up from the ground. The next moment, Son Goku saw Vegeta and King Kai at a glance. The three of them looked at each other. Are you King Kai? Son Goku asked Vegeta hurriedly. Vegeta. Hello, I'm Son Goku. Please teach me how to practice martial arts. Son Goku walked up to Vegeta and said. Vegeta gave Son Goku a sidelong look. Then, Vegeta pressed the detector on his eye. Oh? Combat power 425. Vegeta shook his head and sighed. With such little combat power, it's really pathetic. I could kill him with just a slap. It is worth mentioning that Son Goku came to this world with his body after his death. Son Goku, wearing a weighted suit, passed through the long snake path again. Therefore, Son Goku's fighting power is higher than when he fought Raditz. You are. Son Goku's pupils shrank suddenly and his face changed color. Son Goku had just arrived at King Kai's planet and hadn't yet recovered. Seeing Vegeta's clothes and the detector on his eyes, Son Goku also felt that the situation was not good. Isn't this Sion's clothing? He wore a strange machine on his eyes that could detect combat power. Son Goku's heart trembled. This person is definitely not as simple as he appears to be. I feel like he's at least 10 times better than Raditz. I didn't expect there was such a powerful person in this world. Although Son Goku was a little scared and a little excited, he didn't show it on the surface. Don't think that Son Goku is usually the thick-skinned type. But at this point in time, Son Goku has not entered the universe and is still relatively low-key. When faced with an opponent stronger than himself, Son Goku does not rush into the challenge. Because Son Goku knew clearly that no matter how hard he tried, he could never be a match for this person. Only by learning the skills well can you be qualified to challenge others. The King Kai you're looking for is over there. Vegeta obviously had no interest in Son Goku and pointed in the direction of King Kai and the gorilla. Of course Vegeta doesn't know Son Goku either. The main reason is that it has been too long and I haven't recognized it yet. Son Goku turned his head and glanced in the direction of King Kai. King Kai was lying on the ground. I just got beaten up by Vegeta. Then, Son Goku's eyes passed through King Kai and saw the gorilla Beerus playing in the mud in the distance. Son Goku quickly stepped forward. Hello King Kai, I'm Son Goku, and I'm here to learn Kung Fu from you. Son Goku said to Beerus. Beerus. Kai. Whose fool is this? What are you doing on my planet? You are so. I am the king of the world. And the moment Son Goku turned around, Vegeta glanced at Son Goku casually again. Vegeta suddenly felt that this guy looked somewhat familiar. I seem to have seen it somewhere. Where have you seen it before? Never mind. It doesn't matter. I have met so many people. Maybe I've seen people of similar races while traveling through the universe over the years. I feel like this guy is a bit like an earthling. Vegeta ignored Son Goku, just thinking this place was too boring. Lu Fan, why did you send me here? It bored me for a year. Swish. Gorilla Beerus looked at Son Goku and suddenly raised his hands. Son Goku was slightly stunned. Immediately afterwards, Beerus walked unsteadily in front, making strange noises. Is this the start? Is it okay if I just do this move? Son Goku scratched his head. Okay, then I'll give it a try. As he said this, Son Goku followed the movements of the gorilla Beerus and moved back and forth on the ground. King Kai, what's going on with the ground? And this move is so tiring. Son Goku said. Roar, roar, roar. Beerus let out a series of dry roars. Roar, roar. Son Goku followed suit. Kai. Vegeta. Such a stupid person, should we kill him? Oh? Why does he have a golden halo on his head? Is he dead? Is this what it's like after death? Vegeta looked over silently, with no intention of destroying Son Goku immediately. Hey, what are you doing? King Kai stood up and looked at Son Goku with a dark face. Chapter 83. Son Goku turned his head and looked in the direction of King Kai. Son Goku stopped immediately, looked at King Kai and asked, You you are. I am the King Kai, said the King Kai. Ah? So that's you. When you were lying there before, I thought you were a sculpture. Son Goku laughed. Kai. This guy is not likable at all. I was exercising, keeping my body close to the earth and absorbing the essence of the earth. King Kai said. Although I didn't quite understand, it doesn't matter anymore. Son Goku scratched his head in confusion. What are you doing here? King Kai looked at Son Goku and asked. Ah. I want to ask King Kai to teach me Kung Fu. I want to become stronger. Son Goku stated his purpose. Okay, come here and try. Let me see how powerful you are first. King Kai got ready for fighting. Let me beat this guy up first. This year I was always bullied by Vegeta. This guy came at the right time. I'll also find someone to bully. Swish. Just when the two were about to fight. Through instant transmission, Lu Fan appeared above King Kai's planet in an instant and looked down. Lu Fan. What kind of picture is this? Son Goku has come to King Kai? I have worked really hard this year. Before we knew it, Son Goku was already dead. Also, the picture now looks quite harmonious. Son Goku and Vegeta's first encounter was actually on King Kai's planet. Lu Fan found Vegeta lying on King Kai's recliner, with his legs crossed, admiring the battle between Son Goku and King Kai. Lu Fan was in no hurry to go down, he just floated in the air and looked over silently. Before the fight, there is something I want to ask you. Son Goku suddenly said, why does my body feel so heavy here? It's not very convenient to move. You are from Earth, right? King Kai said. Yes. Son Goku nodded. Humph, I've been to a planet like Earth before. Vegeta snorted and took over the conversation, the gravity there is very small, only 1/10 of this planet's. Hey? That means that although this planet is not big, its gravity is 10 times that of the Earth. Son Goku was surprised. Yes, that's right. King Kai nodded, how about this, let's not compete for now, you jump up high and try with all your strength. Okay. Son Goku responded. Hey. Son Goku took a knee and jumped up. Son Goku jumped high into the air, at least 20 meters high. Of course, this height is still a long way from where Lu Fan is. King Kai was a little surprised. Vegeta gave him a disdainful look. Vegeta also flew high up to see it. Vegeta even went along the snake path to the palace of King Yama. But, Vegeta couldn't get out at all. Now Vegeta also knows that this is the underworld. It seems that the underworld and the realm of the gods are connected. No, to be precise, heaven and the divine realm are connected. The planet of King Kai should be a paradise. In this way, Vegeta had a simple understanding of the entire underworld. Vegeta found that he couldn't get out, so he had to turn back. Although the snake path is long, for Vegeta, it only takes about 30 minutes to go back and forth. Of course, King Kai also told Vegeta that hell is beneath the golden clouds. Once you go down, even Supreme Kai may not be able to bring you back. It would be more appropriate to say this in advance. What if this kid really runs in and can't get out? When the time comes and Lord Supreme Kai asks me for someone, what should I say? Although King Kai wished that this guy would go to hell immediately. But it's better to say what needs to be said in advance. Vegeta was also very curious about hell, and after much hesitation, he finally didn't dare to go down. It would be really fed up if I really couldn't come back after I went there. Vegeta hasn't done that yet. Bang! Son Goku fell rapidly from the air and landed on the ground with his feet. No, I can only jump this high. Son Goku gritted his teeth. King Kai was a little surprised. This guy is not simple. He can jump so high under the influence of 10 times the gravity. Very good, let's start practicing now. By the way, how long do you plan to practice here? Asked King Kai. I don't know how long it took me to finish the snake path, but there's not much time left because the bad guys are about to arrive on our Earth. Son Goku changed his words here and didn't say he was Saiyan. Because the more Son Goku looks at Vegeta, the more he thinks he's a Saiyan. So I need to master my Kung Fu in a short period of time. Son Goku replied. Okay, I will teach you well. King Kai nodded. Hey, that kid, if you want to become stronger, you will be useless if you let this kind of guy teach you. Vegeta couldn't bear to listen anymore and smiled softly. Who is he? Son Goku was stunned, looked at Vegeta and asked King Kai. His name is Vegeta, and he's from the Scion race of warriors. King Kai explained, he came here, to travel. Yeah, that's it. Vegeta smiled lightly, his face full of contempt. You are right. You said I came here for tourism, which is somewhat true. What? Scion. Son Goku had already determined that Vegeta might be a Scion. But after hearing King Kai's words, he still cried out. Could this person really be my brother's accomplice? Before my brother died, he said that he had 3 accomplices. 2 of them were missing. Could it be that one of them had come here? It's strange. Didn't God say that only dead people can come to King Kai? This person is obviously still alive. Boy, judging from your expression, you seem to know the existence of Scion. Vegeta looked at Son Goku with a smile. Son Goku quickly covered his mouth and shook his head. I remember now, I finally know who you are. Vegeta stood up and looked at Son Goku with a smile. What? Son Goku was stunned, do you know me? You are Raditz' younger brother Kakarot, am I right? Vegeta smiled. Son Goku. Lu Fan watched silently. It turns out that they were able to live in peace because Vegeta didn't know Son Goku's true identity. It seems like there will be some good show to watch soon. I'm not going down yet. It seems to be correct. Vegeta's mouth corners slightly raised, forming a shallow arc. When I saw you for the first time, I felt that you looked familiar, as if I had seen you somewhere. Maybe you don't know? On your way to Earth, my universe spaceship was right in front of your universe spaceship. Chapter 84. Ah? Have you been to Earth a long time ago? Son Goku suddenly realized. Seeing the halo on your head, it means you are dead. Were you killed by Raditz? Vegeta snorted. Son Goku. There was a brief silence. I guess so. Son Goku nodded, he's really strong. I'm no match for him at all. It took Piccolo and I teaming up to finally kill him together. Raditz is dead. Vegeta was stunned again. Yes, dead. Son Goku knew there was no point in pretending any longer. And Son Goku is not good at lying. Let that kind of trash die. Vegeta didn't take it seriously, but looked at Son Goku with interest and said to him, someone once told me that Kakarot, you will be my lifelong rival. Ah? Me? Son Goku was stunned. That's right. Vegeta chuckled, your combat power is only 425. Why would you become my lifelong rival? Son Goku is still confused. Who said that? I don't know you at all. Do you know what my fighting power is? Vegeta said with a smile. Son Goku didn't answer. Vegeta slowly stretched out a finger and then made the number 8. What? 1800. Son Goku was stunned. According to what he said, just comparing the numbers, it seems that I am several times behind him. What's 1800? Let me tell you, my combat power is 18,000. Vegeta smiled contemptuously. Son Goku was dumbfounded and speechless for a long time. After a moment of silence. Ha ha ha, you are not kidding. Son Goku said with a wry smile. Attack me with all your strength, Kakarot. Vegeta beckoned at Son Goku. Is it okay? Son Goku scratched his head. Of course, I can beat you to a pulp with just one finger. Vegeta smiled confidently, stretched out a finger and hooked it at Son Goku. Okay. I'll try. Son Goku clenched his fists tightly. Hey! Then, Son Goku punched Vegeta hard. Bang! Vegeta used his index finger to easily catch Son Goku's full-strength attack. Son Goku was stunned again. It turns out that the gap between us is really that big. This is a bit of a headache. Are the companions that Raditz mentioned before his death so powerful? What? Kakarot, is this your attack? If this is all you can do, how can you become my lifelong rival? Vegeta sneered. Then, Vegeta gently waved his hand in the air at Son Goku. Bang! Accompanied by a muffled sound. A powerful gust of wind pressure hit Son Goku directly. Son Goku flew backwards on the spot, his body tumbled several times on the ground, and gradually stopped. Ouch! Son Goku grimaced in pain and felt unwell all over. This guy is so strong. I am no match for him at all. Who said that? Who said I would be his lifelong rival? But I think what that person said makes some sense. As long as I practice hard, maybe I can surpass Sion. Vegeta rushed forward and put his foot on Son Goku, pressing him to the ground and rubbing him back and forth. Son Goku cried out in pain. In the face of absolute strength, Son Goku is completely helpless. One has a combat power of 18,000, and the other has a combat power of just over 400. What do you think, Kakarot? Do you think you can become my lifelong rival? Vegeta smiled even brighter. Lu Fan. This is probably Vegeta's peak moment, right? Press Son Goku to the ground and rub him hard. Kakarot, why don't you stand up? Vegeta chuckled, and stepped harder as he said this. Son Goku couldn't even stand up and was still being stepped on and rubbed on the ground. King Kai could do nothing but stare blankly. Even I am no match for him. You, young man from Earth, you'd better take care of yourself. Although I want to help you too. Although I also think he is arrogant. But... Bang! Just then, Lu Fan fell from the sky and landed next to Vegeta, Son Goku and others. Lu Fan. Vegeta was slightly stunned, and then he became angry and said, "UBD. You left me here by myself. Do you know how I spent the past year?" Lu Fan. What you said doesn't sound right. Greetings to Lord Supreme Kai. King Kai hurriedly stepped forward and knelt down to pay his respects. Lu Fan ignored it. Also, this guy is Kakarot, right? Vegeta said, stepping on Son Goku again. Son Goku spewed out a mouthful of acid. It's him, he is Kakarot, Burdok's son. Lu Fan nodded. A guy with a combat power of only over 400, a lowest level warrior among lowest level warriors, do you think he will become my lifelong rival? Vegeta snorted and kicked Son Goku up to a higher height. Bang! Son Goku drew an arc in the air and landed heavily on the ground of King Kai's planet. His head tilted and he fainted on the spot. Vegeta didn't go too far. I was afraid that I would accidentally beat him to death. Then I won't have any interesting opponents in the future. I find it fun to bully such a weak opponent. Look, I knocked him out. Vegeta said with a smile. Let's not talk about him for now. Lu Fan sighed, and after sensing Vegeta's aura strength, he looked at Vegeta and asked, in other words, you have spent nearly a year, and your combat effectiveness has hardly improved. Humph, how can I improve my combat power in such a shabby place? Vegeta gritted his teeth and said, take me away from here. Otherwise, Kakarot will be your example. King Kai, didn't I ask you to teach him well? This is the student you teach. Lu Fan looked at King Kai. King Kai is still kneeling there. Hearing Lu Fan's words, King Kai was so frightened that his whole body was shaking. Well, it's not that I don't want to teach him, it's that he thinks I'm not qualified to teach him. I also want to teach him Kaioken, but... King Kai was about to cry as he spoke. Has this year been easy for me? I was almost bullied to death by this guy. It's already very difficult for me to live to see Supreme Kai. Lu Fan thought about it carefully. What King Kai said, seems to be correct. With Vegeta's proud character, it would be strange if King Kai could teach him. What a bad decision. I found him a master who is not as good as him. Chapter 85. Humph, this shorty is right. Do you think he is qualified to teach me? Vegeta snorted. Will Kaioken be useful if I learn it? Lu Fan sighed deeply. Okay Lu Fan, take me away from this deserted place. I'm tired of this boring planet. I can circle the planet in the time it takes to pee. Vegeta snorted. King Kai wanted to continue what Vegeta said. Get him out of here right now. Do you want to keep him over for the new year? I've really had enough. Hurry up, I'm talking to you, Lu Fan. Don't do such boring things in the future. Vegeta shouted arrogantly. Swish. Lu Fan flashed and suddenly appeared next to Vegeta, so fast that Vegeta was a little stunned. What? When did you increase your speed to this level? Vegeta was shocked. Bang. Lu Fan slapped him directly. Vegeta was hit on the spot and his consciousness became a little blurred. This familiar feeling. Why did he knock me out again? Is this guy stronger than me? The problem is, this guy has hidden his fighting ability. What is his real fighting ability? This was what Vegeta was thinking before he passed out. Pa. Then, Vegeta's head tilted and he fell to the ground. King Kai was so excited. Well done to Supreme Kai. Finally, this demon was subdued. King Kai, have you been okay this year? Lu Fan asked King Kai. Kai. I want to say that I am living a good life, do you believe it? Forget it, I'll take this guy away. Lu Fan said, and walked forward to grab Vegeta's tail. Yes, Supreme Kai-sama, King Kai replied respectfully. Swish. Lu Fan used instant transmission and disappeared without a trace in just a moment. Seeing Lu Fan and Vegeta leaving, King Kai breathed a sigh of relief. The demon finally left. King Kai sat down on the ground, breathing heavily. After a short break, King Kai turned his head and looked at the unconscious Son Goku. King Kai hurried over. The gorilla Beerus also ran forward. Hey, wake up quickly! King Kai called out to Son Goku. Son Goku rubbed his head, opened his eyes, and got up from the ground with gritted teeth. Hey? Where's that Scion? Son Goku looked around vigilantly, but didn't see Vegeta, so he asked hurriedly. Don't worry, he has left here. King Kai replied. Left? Son Goku was stunned, this guy is so powerful. Don't you know everything? Your combat power is only over 400, and his combat power has reached 18,000, which is 45 times worse than his. King Kai sighed. What? Is the gap between us so big? Son Goku was stunned, his eyes widened with a look of disbelief. That's the truth. Vegeta hasn't done anything cruel yet. If he did, your soul would probably be completely destroyed, and you wouldn't even have the chance to reincarnate. King Kai sighed. Is it impossible to resurrect? Son Goku asked. Resurrection? What do you mean? King Kai was stunned. Ah, there are Dragon Balls on Earth, and if you collect all 7 you can make any wish come true, and the Shenron can revive people who have died once, Son Goku explained. So it's Dragon Ball, I see. King Kai nodded, if your soul is shattered, Shenron cannot revive you. Son Goku was stunned for several seconds. King Kai, how did you calculate that guy named Vegeta is 45 times stronger than me? How did you calculate it so quickly? Son Goku asked, scratching his head. Kai. Ahem, are you here to learn arithmetic from me? King Kai wiped his sweat. No. I've never learned arithmetic well. Of course I'm here to learn Kung Fu from you, King Kai. Son Goku waved his hand. Things like arithmetic give me a headache just thinking about it. So, do you have the confidence to defeat that guy named Vegeta? He is 45 times stronger than you. King Kai lost his confidence at that time. This is not twice as powerful. That's 45 times. You have to train yourself to be able to defeat a guy like that. Also, from the content of your conversation just now, I can see that you are also Scion, right? King Kai asked. Yes, I heard from my brother Raditz that I was sent to Earth by Scion when I was very young. I grew up on Earth since I was a child. I can be considered an Earthling. Son Goku said with a smile. You are quite easygoing. King Kai nodded. Hehe, as for that guy named Vegeta, even though he is 45 times stronger than me now, I think I can surpass him one day through my own efforts. Son Goku clenched his fists, his face full of fighting spirit. Did you know? This Scion named Vegeta was a talented warrior when he was born. It is said that his combat power reached 800 when he was born. King Kai pondered, and after these years of hard training, his combat power has reached 18,000. It can be said that in this universe, his combat power is already very outstanding. When he was just born, his combat power reached 800. Son Goku was surprised, does that mean that he can easily defeat me now when he is still a newborn baby? That's right. Now you know the gap between you and him, right? Do you still have the confidence to defeat him? Supreme Kai asked solemnly. Yes. Son Goku nodded seriously. Very good, I feel relieved with your words. If you lose confidence in yourself, no matter how I teach you, you will not be able to win. King Kai said, to be honest, he is stronger than me. Hey? Even more powerful than King Kai. Son Goku said in a lost voice, no wonder you were lying there just now. Kai. This kid figured it out. The first thing you have to do is surpass me. King Kai smiled slightly. Son Goku nodded solemnly. There was a brief silence. By the way, King Kai, I'm afraid I can't stay here for long. Son Goku continued. Yes, you did say that to me before. Is it because you want to go back and give birth to a child? Asked King Kai. Son Goku. I have a son. Son Goku scratched his head. What's the reason? If the time is too short, it will be too difficult to surpass Vegeta. King Kai shook his head. Because a scion will arrive on Earth, and I don't know if Vegeta is there. So, I need to practice my Kung Fu well before the scion arrives on Earth, and defeat the scion who comes to Earth first. Son Goku looked solemn. Chapter 86. Scion is heading to Earth. King Kai was slightly startled. Okay, let me see when Scion can arrive on Earth. As he spoke, the two tentacles on King Kai's head moved slightly, and he looked towards the distant starry sky, and murmured, well, there is indeed a Scion who is speeding towards the Earth in the Universe spacecraft. It will arrive on Earth in about 158 days. It's amazing that you know this. Son Goku exclaimed, however, there are only 158 days left. Young man, practice hard. King Kai said, you practiced on this planet for 158 days, which is equivalent to several decades of practice on Earth. Really? Son Goku was surprised and happy. The Scion who went to Earth, I'm sure, is not as strong as Vegeta, but if converted into combat power, he is far more powerful than you, at least 10 times more powerful than you. King Kai put his hands behind his back and said to Son Goku, so what you have to do now is to surpass the Scion who went to Earth first. Okay, I get it. Son Goku nodded vigorously. First, you have to overcome the gravity here and catch Beerus. If you can't even do this, let alone surpass Vegeta. King Kai ordered Son Goku. Understood. Son Goku nodded. Son Goku chased after Beerus with great effort. However, no matter how hard Son Goku tried, he could never catch up with Beerus. Son Goku gritted his teeth, took off his coat, and was about to take off his weight suit as well. Oh? You're still wearing super heavy equipment? King Kai smiled, you should put the equipment you took off back on. It will be more effective. Otherwise, you will never catch up with Vegeta. Okay, I understand, you are right, King Kai. Son Goku nodded solemnly. Let me tell you one more thing. The gravity on the planet where Scion lives is basically the same as here. They all practice there. King Kai said with a smile, so you were sent to Earth when you were young, which will have a certain impact on your practice. The sixth universe, the planet Kampa. Vados is video chatting with Whis remotely. Whis, you're so cunning. You dragged Lu Fan over to be the gods of destruction and Supreme Kai, and raised the overall level index of your universe to such a high level. Vados sighed, you really killed two birds with one stone. Not only did the overall level of the universe improve, but you can also drink Coke. Wow, wow, thank you for the compliment, sister. Whis covered his mouth and laughed happily. I now deeply suspect, that you were the one who deliberately killed Lord Supreme Kai. Vados sighed. That's absolutely not true. Whis wiped his sweat, I really just went over to help, I didn't know Supreme Kai would do that. Maybe everything is fate, even God can't escape the calamity of fate. By the way, what do you want to talk to me about? Vados didn't want to bother with Whis anymore. I have recovered from Super Dragon Ball. If it is convenient for you, please give Master Kompa some advice. Whis said to Vados. I understand. Vados nodded without objection. The call ends. At this time, Kompa ran out again to look for the last Super Dragon Ball. Kompa didn't give up. I still can't believe that I can't find the last Dragon Ball. Maybe you can find it if you try your luck. About 3 hours later. Kompa returned with nothing. Master Kompa is out destroying planets again? Is the work going well? Vados smiled. It's okay. Kompa said in a muffled voice. By the way, Lord Kompa, look what that is. Vados said, and an image suddenly projected onto the scepter in his hand. The image shows a giant Dragon Ball. Omega Shenron Ball. Kompa's eyes widened, this Dragon Ball finally appeared. Yes, we are currently in the 7th universe. Vados nodded. The coordinates are. I've clearly searched that area, why can't I find it? Kompa looked confused, then shook his head and said, it doesn't matter. I just need to find this Dragon Ball right now, so that I can make any wish come true. Is Master Kompa's wish for lots of Coke? Vados asked with a smile. Ha ha ha, yeah, let's go. Kampa said, purple-red flames blooming on his body. Call out. In just a moment, Kampa sank into the void and soon disappeared without a trace. About another half-hour passed. Kampa finally found the last Super Dragon Ball. This is a one-star bead. Super Dragon Ball is huge, the size of a planet. Although the planet was extremely large, it was still quickly taken away by Kampa under his control. Kampa then carried the Super Dragon Ball towards the 6th universe. The 7th universe, a certain planet. Lu Fan pulled Vegeta's tail and came to this planet through instant transmission. Hey, wake up, Your Highness. Lu Fan said to Vegeta. Vegeta is still unconscious. What a hassle. Lu Fan sighed and threw Vegeta into the planet's lake. Gulp gulp. Vegeta choked on the water. Boom. Then, Vegeta soared into the sky. Vegeta flew into the sky and looked down at Lu Fan below. The next moment, Vegeta also suddenly came back to his senses. Why did you change the place again? Where is this place? It seems like they have already left King Kai's planet. Have I returned to the human universe? But none of this matters anymore. It's time to settle accounts with Lu Fan. So shameless, always attacking me by surprise and knocking me out. Lu Fan, today I will teach you a lesson. Don't cry if it hurts. Vegeta was high in the sky, looking down at Lu Fan below. You are no match for me, so you'd better shut up as soon as possible. Lu Fan smiled. Humph, how shameless. Vegeta said, swooping down quickly and delivering a powerful punch in the direction of Lu Fan. Looking at Vegeta's attacking fist, Lu Fan gently extended a finger. Hey, what are you doing? Do you think you can block my attack with just one finger? Vegeta was stunned, and then shouted loudly, I'm telling you, I won't show mercy. Bang! The next moment, Vegeta's fist hit Lu Fan's fingers hard. Lu Fan easily caught Vegeta's attacking fist with just one index finger. Vegeta's body stopped in the air, maintaining an upside-down position. Chapter 87. After Vegeta discovered this astonishing scene, his face was filled with shock and disbelief. How is this possible? When did Lu Fan become so powerful? Call out. After a brief moment of stagnation, Vegeta quickly flew backwards, distanced himself from Lu Fan, and appeared on the same level, staring at Lu Fan with a serious expression. Your Highness, now you know the gap between you and me. Lu Fan said with a smile. This is impossible. This is absolutely impossible. Vegeta shouted. Nothing is impossible, that's the truth. Lu Fan said with a smile, Your Highness, don't be provoked by things like this. Vegeta looked towards Lu Fan. Once you get used to it, you will have many more opportunities to be stimulated in the future, Lu Fan added. Vegeta. Thousands of alpacas passed through Vegeta's mind. I thought you were going to comfort me. What you said hurt me even more. I don't believe it. Vegeta gritted his teeth, and the energy in his body surged out crazily. He stretched out his arms, and an energy flame condensed in each of his hands. Then, Vegeta fused the two energy flames together. Lu Fan, although you caught my attack with one finger, do you dare to try my ultimate flash cannon? Vegeta shouted. You can try it. Lu Fan said with a smile. Humph, I'll slow down to the minimum. If you get killed, you can only blame your bad luck. Vegeta snorted, I advise you to get out of the way. Let's get started. Lu Fan waved at Vegeta. Humph, you asked for this. Vegeta roared, and the energy flame in his hand sprayed towards Lu Fan's direction. Lu Fan saw that Vegeta's ultimate flash cannon had slowed down a lot in speed. This ultimate flash cannon blew off most of Cell's body in the future. It seems that this guy Vegeta still has some conscience. It is precisely because of this that Lu Fan wants to train him to become the gods of destruction. If Vegeta wanted to do something ruthless just now, Lu Fan would definitely not care about Vegeta's life or death. Now, there is still hope. Looking at the ultimate flash cannon flying towards him, Lu Fan's mouth corners slightly raised, forming a shallow arc. What are you doing? Get out of the way. Do you want to die? Vegeta noticed that Lu Fan had no intention of dodging, so he shouted hurriedly. Lu Fan waved his hand lightly and slapped the ultimate flash cannon that was flying over. Bang! All I heard was a loud bang. Vegeta's ultimate flash cannon was slapped away by Lu Fan. The ultimate flash cannon drew an arc in the air and landed on the ground in the distance. Boom! A huge mushroom cloud quickly emerged on the ground, and the shock wave spread in all directions with endless momentum. Vegeta was blown backwards by the shock waves. For a moment, the planet was filled with dust and smoke, and flames shot into the sky. Vegeta was stunned. After a brief moment of daze, Vegeta's whole body was shaking. Are you kidding me? How come this guy is so powerful? That was my full strength attack. Was he just slapped away? You, how is this possible? Vegeta stuttered. Swish! Lu Fan used instant transmission, and with a flash of his body, he quickly appeared right in front of Vegeta. Vegeta was startled and his expression changed again and again. Okay, don't be afraid. I won't knock you out this time. Lu Fan said with a smile. Vegeta's body trembled violently. Your Highness, you have to learn to adapt. Lu Fan stepped forward and patted Vegeta's shoulder. What did you say? Adapt to what? Vegeta was stunned. I'm better at adapting than you. Lu Fan smiled. Vegeta. Vegeta immediately felt heartbroken. You are so. You are just my sparring partner, you are stronger than me? I am so embarrassed. Once you adapt, you'll get used to it. Lu Fan said. Vegeta bared his teeth and clenched his fists tightly. Then, Vegeta seemed to suddenly realize something and immediately raised his head to look at Lu Fan. You, have you become a Super Saiyan? Vegeta asked in surprise. No, not yet. Lu Fan shook his head, that transformation is not suitable for me. Are you kidding? How can a non-Super Saiyan be so powerful? Vegeta said in disbelief. Besides, I've told you before that I'm taking the route of Super Saiyan God. Lu Fan smiled. You mean, you are a Super Saiyan God now? Vegeta was stunned. Not really. Lu Fan shook his head. Vegeta. Neither this nor that, then what are you? Didn't King Kai tell you? I am Supreme Kai, the greatest god in this universe. Lu Fan smiled. Vegeta remained silent. I know you are Supreme Kai. But does just becoming Supreme Kai make you that powerful? I said so much mainly to tell you another thing. Lu Fan said. What? Vegeta took a deep breath and asked through gritted teeth. Didn't I ask you to follow that cat man and the blue-skinned beauty with me on the gourmet planet more than 20 years ago? Lu Fan said, otherwise you will regret it. So? Vegeta asked. So you regret it now, right? If you had been with me back then, although your strength is not as good as mine now, at least you could have fought with me for a few moves. Lu Fan said with a smile. Vegeta. What do you mean? You're bringing up something that happened 20 years ago. You are such a petty guy. Okay, I'll give you one last chance. Do you want to be the gods of destruction? Lu Fan asked. Who is more powerful, gods of destruction or Supreme Kai? Vegeta asked. Of course gods of destruction is more powerful. Lu Fan smiled. Didn't you say Supreme Kai is the greatest god in this universe? Vegeta didn't believe it. I always feel like you're setting a trap for me to jump into. The greatness of Supreme Kai is that he can create life. Of course, gods of destruction is stronger in combat, said Lu Fan. Vegeta was silent. After a brief silence. Then let me ask you again, who is stronger, Super Saiyan or gods of destruction? Vegeta asked again. If I say that gods of destruction is powerful, would you believe it? Lu Fan said. Vegeta. I believe it. Vegeta gritted his teeth and said unwillingly. Do you still want to ask, who is more powerful, Super Saiyan God or gods of destruction? Lu Fan smiled. How did you know I would ask that? Vegeta was surprised. Chapter 88. God can see through all your inner thoughts. Lu Fan said with a smile, you cursed me several times in your heart just now, don't think I don't know anything. Vegeta. If you want to become the gods of destruction, the first thing you have to do is to surpass Kakarot. Lu Fan said. You mean Kakarot? Vegeta was slightly stunned and a little confused. Yes, it's the Kakarot that you stepped on and rubbed on the ground. His name on Earth is Son Goku. Lu Fan nodded. Don't be ridiculous. How can a guy with a combat power of only 400 be my lifelong rival? Vegeta was amused. Lu Fan, if you say you are my lifelong rival, I can believe it. Guys like Kakarot are just trash among the inferior warriors. Your Highness, I am really not your lifelong rival. Lu Fan shook his head. Humph, don't you have any confidence? Vegeta snorted, don't think that just because you've become so powerful now, I can't surpass you. No, what I mean is that I'm afraid you will never be able to surpass me in your entire life. Lu Fan sighed. Vegeta. You are so. Look, you are slandering me in your heart again. Lu Fan sighed, it seems that if I don't teach you a lesson, you will not know the power of God. Bang! Lu Fan waved his hand in the air. Suddenly, a strong wind pressure hit Vegeta directly. Vegeta flew backwards immediately. In addition, blood spurted out of Vegeta's mouth as he flew backwards. This, can you have such powerful strength just by waving your hand? Vegeta was stunned, this guy Lu Fan, is he stronger than me in the same way that I am stronger than Kakarot? You are wrong. You are 45 times more powerful than Kakarot, and I am more than 45 trillion times more powerful than you. Lu Fan said. Zhao. Vegeta didn't react for a moment. After billion comes trillion. Lu Fan said. Vegeta. Vegeta didn't want to talk anymore. You are so good at bragging that I am speechless. You said you are 450,000 times more powerful than me, I don't believe it. You still have 45 megabytes. Hey, what's that? Suddenly, while flying backwards, Vegeta saw a strange sight in the sky. High in the sky, a golden planet is moving rapidly. And on the surface of the golden planet, a ball of purple-red flame appeared. Lu Fan turned his head and looked in the direction Vegeta was looking. Isn't that Super Dragon Ball? How come it moves so fast? I saw it. It's that guy Kampa who's stealing the Super Dragon Ball from the 7th universe. If you want to steal the Super Dragon Ball, just do it secretly. Look how you stole Dragon Ball so blatantly right under my nose. Is this tolerable? I am a part-time Supreme Kai and Gods of Destruction in the 7th universe. If you want to steal the Dragon Ball from our 7th universe, you should at least say hello to me. Just say hello and I'll give it to you. I am still very generous. Wait here for a while. Come back after I deal with that guy in the sky. Lu Fan said, and then he took off into the air and flew quickly into the sky. Humph, I'll go too. Vegeta gritted his teeth, quickly adjusted his body in the air, and chased after Lu Fan. Swish! After Lu Fan flashed a few times, he disappeared from the spot. Vegeta. Vegeta was at a loss. This thing is too fast. Vegeta clenched his fists tightly, feeling increasingly unwilling. No, I want to go over and take a look too. Vegeta turned into a stream of light and rushed up into the sky. Soon, Vegeta left the planet's surface and appeared in the exosphere region. Vegeta didn't dare to fly forward anymore. Further ahead is the universe space. Vegeta knew that he would die immediately if he entered the universe space. Vegeta. Vegeta suddenly felt that the wish Lu Fan once made was so wise. I also want to survive in the universe. But now, Vegeta could only watch from afar and could do nothing. In the distant universe, Kampa is controlling the last one-star Super Dragon Ball, intending to move it back to his own 6th universe and summon the Dragon of God to fulfill his wish. Flying and flying. Swish! Lu Fan used instant transmission and appeared in front of Kampa in an instant, blocking his way. Lu Fan. Kampa recognized Lu Fan at first sight. Big fat cat, what are you doing secretly in our universe? Lu Fan asked with a smile. What do you mean universe? Stop getting carried away. Kampa was so angry that his nose was crooked. Also, who was sneaking around? Being carried away by success? Well, that's a good word. Lu Fan smiled. You've been in our universe for so long, and you've forgotten. Kampa shouted angrily, you've only been the Supreme Kai of the 7th universe for 20 years, and you think this place is your home. Fat cat, you have to understand, I am originally from the 7th universe. I went to the 6th universe with you because I fell in love with Vados. Lu Fan explained. Kampa. Kampa knew he couldn't win the argument with Lu Fan. Why should I bother with you? Okay, I won't waste my time talking to you anymore. I have something important to do. Kampa snorted, get out of the way. Get out of the way. I know this is the Super Dragon Ball. If you collect all 7 of them, you can make any wish come true. Lu Fan smiled. Kampa. This kid knows everything. I thought he knew nothing. What wish do you want to fulfill? Lu Fan smiled, tell me, maybe I can help you. Humph, it's none of your business what wish I want to fulfill. Just do what you should do and don't forget that you are the Supreme Kai. Kampa shouted angrily. Look, what is that? Lu Fan suddenly pointed behind Kampa. What? Kampa was stunned and turned his head to look behind him. There is nothing behind me. There is only the endless universe. Kampa suddenly came to his senses. Oops. Got fooled. What does this kid want to do? Kampa turned around immediately. Then. Kampa's tragic discovery. Super Dragon Ball is gone. Kampa felt unwell. He must have been taken away by this guy using instant transmission. Lu Fan, I'm not done with you. Kampa was furious. Swish. That's when Kampa plans to look for the Super Dragon Ball. Lu Fan used instant transmission and appeared near where Kampa was. Hey, big fat cat, if you had been a little polite to me just now, I wouldn't have targeted you deliberately. Lu Fan grinned. Give the Dragon Ball back to me now. Otherwise I will be rude to you. Kampa said with a dark face. Chapter 89. I placed Dragon Ball at the edge of the universe, the coordinates are 999.999.999. Lu Fan said. Kampa. This coordinate location. This is the direction farthest from the 6th universe. Even if you rush there, it will take 15 hours to fly there. If the Dragon Ball is transported back to the 6th universe, it will take at least 3 days to go back and forth. This shameless guy. Come on. Lu Fan said with a smile. Kid. I'll say it one last time, bring the Dragon Ball back to me immediately, or I'll show you how I'll deal with you. Kampa threatened. You? Catch up with my instant transmission first. Lu Fan smiled, by the way, don't even think about asking Fuwa to help you transport the Dragon Ball. If you go find him, I'll knock him out. You have to learn to do it yourself. What did you say? Kampa bared his teeth. Kai Kai. Lu Fan chanted the incantation and began to perform instant transmission. Boy, don't get carried away. Kampa was furious. He waved his hand and a destructive energy whizzed towards the direction where Lu Fan was. Swish. Lu Fan's figure disappeared from the spot. The destructive energy also quickly followed. Soon, Lu Fan appeared tens of thousands of miles away through instant transmission. However, Kampa's destructive energy was so fast that it was taken away by instant transmission at the same time as Lu Fan teleported. Bang! Kampa's destructive energy hit Lu Fan directly. Lu Fan's body trembled slightly. Immediately afterwards, this ball of destructive energy destroyed Lu Fan's coat on the spot. Kampa snorted and glanced in the direction where Lu Fan disappeared. Humph, do you really think we gods of destruction are easy to mess with? Let me teach you a lesson first by destroying your coat and letting you get hurt. If you provoke us gods of destruction again, I'll show you how I'll deal with you. Kampa snorted, scratched his head and murmured, damn it. I've completely offended this guy, and I won't be able to drink Coke anymore. Humph, if you don't want to drink, then don't drink. This damn Lu Fan put Dragon Ball so far away. If I flew there, all my time would be spent on the road. Lu Fan reminded me. I can definitely ask Supreme Kai for help. I asked Supreme Kai to take me there using instant transmission. Otherwise it will take too much time. Okay, let's do it. Kampa turned into a stream of light and stopped looking for the Dragon Ball, flying quickly in the direction of the Supreme Kai world of the 6th universe. A planet below, the exosphere. Vegeta's eyes widened, and his face showed shock. What a joke! How could such a big, shining golden planet suddenly disappear? It seems like Lu Fan made the planet disappear. How did this guy do it? It would be difficult for even me to destroy such a big planet. As a result, this guy Lu Fan made the golden planet disappear in just a moment. Vegeta suddenly felt that he seemed to have been too narrow-minded before. Swish! Just when Vegeta was a little dazed, Lu Fan appeared beside Vegeta safely through instant transmission. Compa's destruction had no effect on Lu Fan at all. It's just that the clothes are broken, and you can just condense a new set. And next to Lu Fan, there is a spherical universe spaceship. The universe spaceship was just floating next to Lu Fan. Vegeta was stunned again. Isn't that my universe spaceship? How did you get to Lu Fan? I remember that spaceship was on a very distant planet. That's right. This guy moves weirdly. It must be Lu Fan who brought back my universe spaceship. Your Highness, go to Earth first and wait until you defeat Kakarot. Lu Fan said to Vegeta, remember, don't underestimate the enemy. What did you say? You want me to defeat Kakarot? Vegeta snorted, didn't I beat King Kai badly enough on his planet? I brought you to King Kai's planet because I wanted you to train with him, but you bullied him and made him cry for a year. Lu Fan sighed, now go to Earth to see the results of Son Goku, or Kakarot's training with King Kai. I'll be there soon. Once you defeat Kakarot, I'll come find you and take you to challenge more difficult levels. Vegeta. A more difficult level? You're not going to take me to challenge Frieza, are you? Vegeta shuddered. Look how scared you are. Lu Fan shook his head, are you afraid of even Frieza? Humph, would I be afraid of that guy? As long as I become a Super Saiyan, that guy will be pinned to the ground and rubbed. Vegeta snorted. Then do your best. Your opponent this time, Kakarot, is extraordinary. Don't underestimate him. Lu Fan reminded again. Isn't he dead? Vegeta mused, will he come back to life if I go to Earth? Vegeta also came back to his senses immediately after saying this. I see, they resurrected Kakarot through Dragon Ball, right? Vegeta snorted. Okay, go quickly. Lu Fan called. Swish. After Lu Fan finished speaking, he immediately used instant transmission and disappeared. Vegeta looked at Lu Fan's disappearing figure, clenched his fists tightly, and felt a little emotional and regretful for a moment. If I had left with Lu Fan back then, maybe I would have become stronger than Lu Fan, right? This guy has become Supreme Kai. I didn't expect that God really has a realm that I don't understand. Just when Vegeta was a little dazed, the universe spaceship hovering nearby suddenly sank and fell towards the earth of the planet. Vegeta hurriedly chased after him and pressed a button on the universe spaceship. The hatch of the universe spacecraft opens. Bang! Vegeta entered the spherical mini-universe ship. The spacecraft door closed. Vegeta quickly entered the command to go to Earth on the center console of the universe spacecraft. At the moment when the universe spacecraft was about to land, it suddenly soared into the sky, turned into a stream of light, and flew rapidly towards the star region where the Earth was. Not long after Vegeta entered the universe spacecraft, Nappa, who was far away, had already received the signal. Your Highness Vegeta? Is that Your Highness Vegeta? Nappa's voice came through the communication equipment of the universe spacecraft. It's Nappa. Vegeta said. Vegeta, where did you go? Did you go to the area at the edge of the universe? There was no signal from you before. Nappa said. Humph, it doesn't matter where I go. Vegeta snorted, now I order you to go to Earth immediately. Earth. Nappa was stunned again, and replied, I'm on my way to Earth now. I'll arrive there in about 150 days. Chapter 90. Oh? You are already on your way to Earth? Not bad. Vegeta was slightly stunned. Vegeta, do you know? Raditz is dead. He was killed by a guy whose combat power was just over 1000. The one who killed him was a friend of his brother Kakarot. Nappa replied. I know, I'll see him. Vegeta smiled softly. Have you seen him? Are you referring to Kakarot? Nappa was a little confused. Who else? Vegeta asked with a smile. Where did you see him? Wasn't he dead? Nappa was a little confused. I see. You saw Kakarot a long time ago, right? No, to be exact, I met him today. Vegeta smiled. Nappa was confused and scratched his bald head vigorously. I'm confused by you. How did you meet Kakarot today? Kakarot has been dead for half a year, right? Could it be that Kakarot is not dead? No, he died together with Raditz. His companion used a magic light cannon to pierce his heart and he died. The heart is pierced, even with our level of medical technology, we need to be careful to recover. Nappa was really confused and wondered in a low voice, is there a panacea on earth that can heal the heart? He is indeed dead. I saw a golden halo above his head. Vegeta said. Nappa scratched his head hard. Vegeta, are you out of your mind? Nappa sincerely felt that Vegeta had become an idiot. Vegeta. If Nappa was next to Vegeta right now, Vegeta would definitely beat him to death without hesitation. Or, Vegeta, is this the cockroach you met in the underworld? Nappa asked again. Humph, it doesn't matter anymore. Vegeta said with a dark face. Just wait for me, Nappa. Vegeta, how long will it take you to reach Earth? Nappa asked. I also sleep over 150 days, probably about 8 hours more than you at night. Vegeta looked down at the center console and was a little surprised. What? Only 8 hours later than me? Nappa exclaimed. What? You sound disappointed. Vegeta chuckled. No. I'm looking forward to it. Nappa said hurriedly. You should have known from their conversation that there is something called Dragon Ball on Earth. That thing can fulfill any wish. Do you want to fulfill your wish before me? Vegeta quickly understood Nappa's thoughts. Ha ha ha, how is that possible? Nappa didn't admit it. How about this, I'll go and kill all the people on Earth first, then find the Dragon Ball and wait for you to come over and make your wish come true. Nappa, you'd better not have such little thoughts. If you dare to betray me, you know what the consequences will be. Vegeta snorted. No, no. Nappa promised quickly. Wait till my wish comes true. Wait till I become a Super Saiyan. Even if you are a prince, even if you are a genius warrior, so what? It's because I, Nappa, pressed it to the ground and rubbed it. Vegeta, blame yourself for arriving 8 hours late. By the time you appeared on Earth, I would have become a Super Saiyan. From now on, this universe will be ruled by me, Nappa. Your Highness, when I go east from now on, you'd better follow me and don't run around, otherwise I will beat you so hard that you can't take care of yourself. Nappa was excited, and his anticipation was beyond words. And when Nappa thought about rubbing Vegeta on the ground, he became even more excited and expectant. Anyway, we were in the spaceship, and Vegeta couldn't see my expression from a distance. Nappa wants to dance to celebrate this wonderful moment that is about to come. By the way, Your Highness Vegeta, where is Lu Fan? Nappa asked casually as he gradually calmed down. It's best to stabilize Vegeta first. It will take more than 150 days to reach the Earth. Don't let anything weird happen during this period. So Nappa decided to get close to Vegeta first so that Vegeta would not doubt him. He has other things to do and will go to Earth later. Vegeta said calmly. Your Highness, do you know how much Lu Fan's fighting power is? Nappa asked again, did this guy hide his fighting power? Is there any point in asking so many questions? Just do your own thing first. Vegeta didn't want to say too much. I've been flying in the universe for more than half a year. Nappa sighed, it's so boring. If you're bored, just take a nap. Vegeta said, and immediately ended the call and let himself fall asleep. Nappa. Well, Vegeta, just sleep well. By the time you fall asleep on Earth, I will have become a Super Saiyan. The sixth universe, the Supreme Kai world. Isn't this Lord Kampa? Fuwa scratched his head and looked at Kampa who appeared in front of him. Supreme Kai, I need your help with something. Kampa said to Fuwa. What's the matter? Asked Foy. There is a Super Dragon Ball in the most remote place in the 7th universe, with coordinates 999.999.999. Kampa said to Fuwa. It's quite remote. Do you need me to bring him back? Fuwa understood immediately. Yes, that's what I mean. Kampa nodded. I heard that Super Dragon Ball can make any wish come true. It seems that such a thing really exists. Fuwa exclaimed. Yes. Kampa nodded. Okay, I'll go now. Fuwa agreed readily, muttering, Kai Kai. Swish. Foy disappeared in an instant through instant transmission. Wait a minute. Kampa said hurriedly. However, Fuwa had already used instant transmission to leave. Kampa. Wait for me to finish speaking. I hadn't even finished my sentence, why did you run away? You should take me with you. I suddenly had a bad feeling. I feel like something bad will happen to you this time. Wait a little longer. Maybe I'm overthinking it. Kampa waited patiently in the Supreme Kai world. Supreme Kai's entourage came forward to pour tea for Kampa. Master Kampa, have a cup of tea and take a rest. I believe that Master Supreme Kai will soon bring back the Super Dragon Ball you mentioned. The attendant said politely. Okay. Kampa nodded without objection. He picked up the teacup and took a sip, but he was a little absent-minded. Is Lord Kampa worried about something? The attendant asked with a smile. Humph, I just have a bad feeling. Kampa bared his teeth. Chapter 91. I don't know why. I have the same feeling. The follower sighed. Kampa turned his head and looked at his followers. Some time ago, about a year ago to be exact, Lord Fuwa was suddenly ambushed. The attendant said in a deep voice, explaining what had happened. What did you say? Supreme Kai was attacked? And he fainted? Why did you tell me such an important thing only now? Kampa stepped forward and grabbed the follower's collar. Kampa broke out in a cold sweat. What if this person has evil intentions and kills Supreme Kai? There is only one Supreme Kai in our universe. If this Supreme Kai dies, I will disappear with him. Am I going to follow in Beerus' footsteps? Well. Lord Kampa, you didn't ask. The follower felt so innocent. Humph. Kampa knew that he had lost his composure a little, so he let go of the follower, straightened his clothes, and asked, So, did you find out who did it? No, it remains a mystery to this day, the follower replied. Kampa. Kampa wrinkled the attendant's clothes, which he had just tidied, into many more wrinkles. Kampa wanted to slap this follower away. UFGBD. After talking for so long you still say it's a mystery. What's the difference between you and not saying it? It's been a year now, it's hard to check now. You mean, that person came here simply to knock Fuwa unconscious and then did nothing else? Kampa understood. Well. I guess so. The attendant nodded and added, also. Lord Fuwa's Potara earrings were taken away. So that guy came here to steal Potara's earrings. Kampa finally figured it out. Yes. The attendant replied, over the past year, Lord Supreme Kai and I have been keeping an eye on the entire universe to see if anyone has used the Potara earrings. But unfortunately, no one in our universe has used the Potara earrings so far, so it will be hard to find that person. You came here just to steal Potara's earrings. Kampa was a little confused by the little thief's tactics. What was the point of that earring being stolen? After the combination, it is very powerful. But if I find out, I will destroy you. I know about this matter. I will keep an eye on it. If I find the thief, I will destroy him. Kampa said to his followers. Thank you very much, Lord Kampa. The follower hurriedly thanked him. You're welcome, it's just a small matter for me. Kampa waved his hand. The seventh universe. The northernmost edge of the universe. The edge of the universe meets the boundary of nothingness. If you go deeper into the edge, you will enter the realm of nothingness. It's no problem for gods like Supreme Kai to enter the realm of nothingness. However, once a god below Supreme Kai enters the realm of nothingness, he will completely lose himself and it will probably be difficult for him to come out. The realm of nothingness, to put it simply, is an undeveloped universe. At this time, Lu Fan was on the edge of the seventh universe and the realm of nothingness. And next to Lu Fan, there is a huge golden planet. There is a red five-pointed star in the center of the planet. The red five-pointed star looks three-dimensional no matter from which direction you look at it. It was the Omega Shenron beads. Swish! Suddenly, Lu Fan felt a fluctuation in space. The next moment, a green fat man appeared near Dragon Ball. Lu Fan knew the green fat man. Isn't this guy the Supreme Kai Fuwa of the sixth universe? Fuwa easily found the Super Dragon Ball. Fuwa placed his hand on the land of Dragon Ball and was about to return to the sixth universe with Dragon Ball. Swish! Lu Fan appeared behind Fuwa in an instant. Just as Fuwa was about to use instant transmission to leave, he suddenly felt a chill on his back. What's going on? It seems dangerous. Bang! Lu Fan slapped Fuwa on the back of the neck. Before Fuwa could come to his senses, he fainted. Fat cat, didn't I tell you not to let Supreme Kai come over to help you move the Dragon Ball? Why didn't you listen? Lu Fan shook his head. Then, Lu Fan looked towards Fuwa. This guy will probably be unconscious for a while. I'll take this opportunity to get all the Dragon Ball sets together first. Swish. Lu Fan performed instant transmission and disappeared. An hour later, Lu Fan successfully collected 7 Super Dragon Balls. 7 Super Dragon Balls were suspended at the edge of the 7th universe in the realm of nothingness, flashing golden light and dyeing the starry sky golden. Shenron, come out, I'm going to send it. Lu Fan summoned the Dragon of God using the language of God. In an instant, the entire starry sky seemed to tremble violently. The next moment, a giant golden dragon emerged from the 7 Super Dragon Balls. The Dragon of God appears. Whoever gathers the Dragon Ball, tell me your wish and I can make any wish come true for you. The voice of the Dragon God sounded. The divine dragon is so huge that its entire body is as big as a galaxy. In front of the Dragon God, Lu Fan was like a bacterium that could not be any smaller. Well, it's spectacular. Lu Fan exclaimed. Tell me your wish, Supreme Kai. The Dragon of God looked at Lu Fan. Actually, I don't have any wishes to fulfill. The reason I summoned you out is just to meet you and see what you look like. Lu Fan smiled. Dragon of God. You are free. If you don't have any wishes, then I'll take my leave. The voice of the Dragon God sounded again, or you can just make a wish. Then just make a wish. I can't let you come out for nothing. Lu Fan nodded and made a wish to the Dragon of God, let Beerus come back. Doesn't he call himself the strongest gods of destruction? If he disappears, I will have no opponent in the future. Okay. The Dragon God said and was about to make the wish come true. Wait a little longer. Lu Fan stopped him. Dragon of God. I am still hesitant when making a wish. I changed my wish. Lu Fan explained, I suddenly remembered that if I only wanted Beerus to come back, who would my life be bound to? My own or Beerus? Is this your wish? The Dragon God asked with a dark face. No, if you don't want to answer, forget it. Lu Fan sighed, then let's restore the Supreme Kai world of the 7th universe to what it was 20 years ago, before Majin Buu killed the Supreme Kai. Okay, your wish has come true, goodbye. 2 golden lights flashed in the eyes of the Dragon God. After saying this, the divine dragon turned into 7 golden flames and quickly disappeared without a trace. Wish fulfilled. Chapter 92. The 7th universe, the Supreme Kai world. It's been 20 years since Supreme Kai died. During these 20 years, Majin Buu has been wreaking havoc in the Supreme Kai world. The entire Supreme Kai world has been destroyed by Majin Buu. The original boundless vegetation was basically destroyed by Majin Buu. After Majin Buu destroyed the Supreme Kai world for a while, he found some small animals and turned them into chocolate cookies to eat, then found a random place to sleep. Majin Buu did not leave the Supreme Kai world. Mainly because I think it's fun here. And Majin Buu is more afraid of the cat man. Majin Buu was afraid that if he went out, he would be caught and beaten by the cat man. Anyway, I'm having a lot of fun here, there's no need to go anywhere else. Just 10 minutes before the Dragon of God appeared, Majin Buu woke up. Majin Buu once again launched a crazy destruction on the Supreme Kai world. Boom! A forest was simply flattened to the ground. A huge mushroom cloud rose into the sky, wreaking havoc in the Supreme Kai world. Majin Buu clapped his hands happily. I'm hungry, I need to eat something. Majin Buu stroked his stomach. However, just when Majin Buu was about to eat, the Dragon God has already fulfilled his wish. The entire Supreme Kai world suddenly became brand new and regained its vitality. Majin Buu's eyes widened at that moment, and his face showed shock. What's going on? Why did the place I destroyed recover? What a magical phenomenon! Majin Buu scratched his head, looking confused. It is located about 100 kilometers away from Majin Buu. Supreme Kai and Jupiter stared at each other in surprise. Next to the two of them, there was a magic sword lying. The divine sword was also restored. Master Supreme Kai? Were we killed by Majin Buu? Jupiter asked curiously. Yet. I remember he turned me into a chocolate cookie. Supreme Kai wiped his sweat, his expression changing again and again. Are we resurrected? It seems like he's resurrected. Jebet scratched his head, a little confused. As the two were talking, they suddenly sensed the powerful aura of Majin Buu coming from afar. It's Majin Buu. Why is he still in the Supreme Kai world? Supreme Kai's expression changed again and again. Master Supreme Kai, let's get out of here. Jepitel made a prompt decision. It seems that the holy sword has no effect on Majin Buu at all. Roar, pa! Jobit said as he spat at the sword. This magic sword is really useless. I thought you could stab Majin Buu to death. In the end, we were all beaten to death by Majin Buu, eaten by him. Supreme Kai. How rude. You actually spit at the sword. However, this magic sword can indeed cause great harm to people. I thought it would really work. Old Supreme Kai. This unfilial descendant. I'll remember you. How dare you spit at me? It shouldn't be like that. The sword was passed down to us by Supreme Kai. Supreme Kai said that the power of this sword is extraordinary. Supreme Kai shook his head and said, I think maybe the sword is waiting for the right person. When the right person uses it, it may increase his strength. Isn't Lord Supreme Kai the destined one? Jupiter sighed. Let's not talk about this for now. Let's take the holy sword and leave here immediately. The Supreme Kai world is not safe. Supreme Kai suggested. That's right, let's think of another way to deal with this Majin Buu. Jebi nodded. The next moment, Supreme Kai went to get the Excalibur. But Supreme Kai almost sprained his back. The sword is too heavy. Supreme Kai tried to lift it, but couldn't move it. Because the Dragon God restored this area to its original state. In other words, even the divine sword has returned to its original weight. Supreme Kai couldn't even lift the previous Excalibur. That's strange, why can't I lift it? Supreme Kai was a little puzzled. Master Supreme Kai, let's not worry about this holy sword for now. Let's get out of here quickly. If we are discovered by Majin Buu, it will be too late to run away. Jupiter urged. At this time, Majin Buu is patrolling in the sky. The Supreme Kai world has returned to its original state, but Majin Buu has not yet come out of his confusion. Soon, Majin Buu saw Supreme Kai and Jepitel in the distance at a glance. Hey? Didn't I eat these two people? How come you are resurrected? So I can eat unlimited amounts of it. It just takes a little while to resurrect. Well, it's been a long time since I've eaten chocolate that turned into a human. Majin Buu sped off in the direction of Supreme Kai and Jepitel. Kai. Supreme Kai learned his lesson this time and directly pulled Jebit to perform instant transmission. Swish! Majin Buu missed. Majin Buu plunged headfirst into the ground, his head embedded deeply into the earth. Then, Buu jumped out from the ground and dusted himself off. Where are the people? Let them run away. But the next moment, Buu turned his head and found the sword lying on the ground. Buu scratched his head. I remember this sword. This sword can also turn into chocolate. And it's a chocolate sandwich. This stuff is delicious. The old Supreme Kai was trembling with fear. You two bastards! Left me behind and ran away. It's over. I'm about to be eaten again. Buu bent down and grabbed the hilt of the sword, but he failed to lift it even after a slight effort. Buu's eyes widened. Why has this sword become heavier than before? Buu exerted more strength and finally lifted up the holy sword. Buu just stared at the holy sword. The sword trembled even more violently. He's shaking. Buu muttered, Hey, I'm going to turn you into a chocolate and eat you right now. The tentacles on Buu's head were already aimed at the holy sword in his hand, and purple-white electric light was condensed on the tentacles. The old Supreme Kai was desperate. This is the end. I'm about to be eaten again. Turn into chocolate. Buu shouted. Bang! Just as the purple-white electric light on Buu's head hit the sword. Lu Fan also appeared at the scene via instant transmission and kicked Buu away with one kick. Bang, bang, bang. Buu's body rolled hundreds of times on the ground, and when he landed, he almost fainted. Lu Fan stepped forward and caught the fallen sword. Chapter 93. Old Supreme Kai, I saved your life. How are you going to thank me? Lu Fan looked at the sword with a smile. Old Supreme Kai. Who is this guy? Judging from the way he is dressed, he seems to be a Supreme Kai. Strange. When did Supreme Kai change his skin color? The hair is still black. Well, none of that matters anymore. Listen to what this kid said. He knew that the person sealed in this magic sword was me. Very good. I can finally see the light of day again. The old Supreme Kai burst into tears inside Excalibur. But it's not appropriate to let you out now. You will affect the development of the plot. Lu Fan said. Old Supreme Kai. What's the meaning? What plot development? Why don't I understand what you are saying? So, I'll just leave you where you were. Lu Fan said, flying into the sky and inserting the magic sword on the top of the mountain. Old Supreme Kai. You should let me out. Why are the Supreme Kais nowadays becoming more and more unreliable? You clearly knew that I was sealed in there, why didn't you let me go? Old Supreme Kai was so angry that his nose became crooked. Well, it's more perfect to insert it in the original place. Lu Fan sighed. Old Supreme Kai. 1,000 alpacas ran through the Old Supreme Kai's mind. Boy! I'll remember you. You're even more hateful than that Supreme Kai henchman. That follower doesn't know I exist. You knew it but you still wouldn't let me out. Old Supreme Kai, one day a destined person will release you. Lu Fan said. Old Supreme Kai. Take care. Lu Fan stepped forward and patted the hilt of the sword. Old Supreme Kai was so angry that he almost passed out. This BD. Just wait for me. Call out. Lu Fan ignored the Old Supreme Kai and quickly landed next to Majin Buu. Majin Buu shook his head, got up from the ground, and immediately looked at Lu Fan. Were you the one who kicked me just now? Buu asked with a dark face. However, after asking this question, Majin Buu suddenly recognized Lu Fan. I remember you, you are the Coke Man. Buu's eyes lit up. Lu Fan. Goddamn Coke Man. Your Coke is delicious. Give me another bottle. I won't hold it against you for kicking me just now. Buu said, stretching out his hand. Isn't the lesson I taught you last time enough? Lu Fan said with a smile. Buu's pupils shrank sharply, and the scene of himself being slapped away by this guy immediately appeared in his mind. I wasn't prepared last time, but I won't lose to you again this time. Buu grinned. Swish! White gas spurted out from the air holes where Buu's head and shoulders were. Majin Buu quickly raised his power to the limit. Hey! Majin Buu punched Lu Fan hard. Bang! The punch hit Lu Fan's chest on the spot. Lu Fan didn't even try to dodge. There's no need for that. Buu grinned, looking very proud. But then, Buu's smile gradually froze. Because, Buu discovered to his horror that after his fist came into contact with the Coke Man, it seemed to be destroyed by something and was rapidly dissipating. At the same time, the fist and the arm along with it also disappeared. It was like a soap bubble, shattering and disintegrating in an instant. The speed of the breakage is still very fast, and it will soon spread to the shoulder area. Buu was horrified. Without any hesitation, Majin Buu immediately waved his left hand and a stream of light flashed across his arm. Swish! Majin Buu's arm was cut off by his own left hand. The spread of the arm that was destroyed by the destructive energy gradually stopped. Majin Buu's pupils shrank sharply and he quickly jumped back, looking at Lu Fan opposite him with a look of horror. Buu was really terrified. The scene just now made Majin Buu feel endless fear. If it was just a little later. I'm afraid he will really beat me to death. No, I punched him and I died. Buu was so overwhelmed that he didn't dare to fight Lu Fan anymore. It's just terrible. I nearly died when I hit you. Still fighting? Lu Fan grinned. Turn into chocolate. Buu said, and the tentacles on his head flashed a purple and white light. The light and electricity quickly covered Lu Fan's body. Then. That's all. This Lu Fan who is Supreme Kai is a clone controlled by Lu Fan. The clone is a ball of destructive energy. With just this amount of destructive energy, you turned into chocolate. In fact, we can't say that there is no more. The purple-white light and electricity that hit Lu Fan was immediately shattered by Lu Fan's own powerful destructive energy. Buu's eyes widened, completely stunned. The next moment, Buu's knees went weak and he knelt down. How come this Coke Man is scarier than that cat man? Buu really feels that he can't afford to offend. I'd better give in. Otherwise I would really be beaten to death. I'll give you two choices. Think about it yourself. Lu Fan said with a smile. Buu just nodded. The first option is to let me beat you to death. Lu Fan said. Buu. Is this the choice you give me? Buu shook his head vigorously. The second option is to seal you up and wait for someone with a destiny to save you. Lu Fan said. The destined one. Buu looked confused. Who is the destined one? As for who is your destined one, you can only wait patiently. If you can't wait, it can only be said that you have bad luck. Lu Fan said. Bu. Hurry up and choose, I'm very busy, otherwise I'll just beat you to death. It's very troublesome to seal you up. Lu Fan groaned. I seal myself. Bu said, raising his big hand slightly, and a demon egg appeared in his hand. This magic egg is almost exactly the same as the one Babadai made. Majin Bu didn't hesitate at all and immediately got into the magic egg, rolling himself into a ball. Bang! The magic egg was covered with a lid. Lu Fan. Lu Fan didn't expect this guy to be so cooperative, so he didn't show any courtesy and cast a ray of light on the seal. The flames quickly covered the magic bullet. Majin Bu was sealed again. Swish! Then, Lu Fan used instant transmission and arrived on Earth in just a moment. Lu Fan throws Majin Bu onto a mountain on Earth. The environment on Earth is still comfortable. Lu Fan looked up at the sky, took a deep breath, and said thoughtfully, by the way, Bulma has grown into a big girl now, right? Let's go see her. The sixth universe, the Supreme Kai world. Kampa waited until the flowers withered and Supreme Kai Foi did not return. The attendants also changed several batches of tea for Kampa. Something must have happened. Kampa stood up with a somewhat grim look on his face. Chapter 94. What should we do? The follower was completely at a loss. Damn it! I'll go and take a look myself. Kampa gritted his teeth, not daring to delay any further. Call out! Purple-red flames bloomed from Kampa's body, and he transformed into a stream of light, flying rapidly in the direction of the seventh universe. Supreme Kai, please don't die. If you die, I'll disappear like Beerus. This is such a pain in the a. Kampa increased his speed, pushing it to the limit. The seventh universe, the world of gods of destruction. Whis is holding a scepter in his hand and observing the universe through the crystal ball on top of the scepter. Whis, will Kampa really bring Beerus back to life? The prophecy fish asked. What if he makes another wish? Oh, it seems that's not necessary. Whis smiled. Lord Lu Fan has already made a wish to the Dragon of God. Hey? Did Lu Fan collect all the Super Dragon Ball? The prophecy fish was stunned. Rather than saying that Lu Fan put together the Super Dragon Ball, it would be more accurate to say that Lu Fan stole Lord Kampa's Super Dragon Ball. Whis sighed. Prophecy fish. Ahem, our gods of destruction is quite unique. The prophecy fish sighed, and immediately asked, what wish did Lu Fan make? I don't have any wishes. I mainly want to summon the Dragon God and see what he looks like. Whis said. The prophecy fish stopped talking. Are you free? Do you think it's interesting what the Dragon of God looks like? Then Master Lu Fan made another random wish, to restore the Supreme Kai world to the way it was 20 years ago. Whis added, that is, the way it was before Bu went to the Supreme Kai world. That is to say, Lord Supreme Kai has been resurrected. The prophecy fish reacted immediately. Yes, resurrected. Whis nodded. Isn't Majin Bu still in the Supreme Kai world? Don't tell me he was eaten again after he was just resurrected. Should we go over and save him? The prophetic fish wiped the sweat off his face. Fortunately, Lord Supreme Kai has already run away. Whis smiled. Have you learned your lesson this time? Sighed the prophecy fish. Lu Fan also went to the Supreme Kai world and sealed Majin Bu away. Whis replied. Really? I'll go see if Beerus is back. The prophecy fish said as it flew into the sky and looked into the castle window. Through the window, the prophecy fish saw Beerus sleeping soundly on the bed. Call out. The prophecy fish soon returned to Whis. Beerus has indeed returned, but he is still sleeping. The prophecy fish sighed. Perhaps, Lord Beerus doesn't know that he disappeared while sleeping. Whis said with a wry smile. Lord Beerus wouldn't be that stupid, right? He's dead. How could he not know that? The prophecy fish was speechless. In fact, Master Beerus didn't really die. He just disappeared suddenly, along with his soul. Whis explained, so Master Beerus probably didn't know what happened in his sleep. Prophecy fish. There was a brief silence. So Whis, who are the real Supreme Kai and gods of destruction in our universe now? Asked the prophecy fish. Of course it's Master Lu Fan. Whis said. What about Supreme Kai? Will Lu Fan continue to hold the position concurrently? The prophet fish asked again. Yes, unless Lu Fan gives up his position, the current Supreme Kai and Gods of Destruction can regain their position. Whis replied. Are you saying that Lord Beerus and the Supreme Kai before him have already retired? The prophecy fish sighed. Yes, that's what I mean. Whis nodded. So, should we kick Beerus out? He's already retired, and it's not appropriate for him to still occupy the castle. The prophecy fish glanced in the direction of the castle and suggested. Whis. You are still cruel. You don't even let people live here. Let's talk about it later. If Lord Lu Fan comes to live here, we'll have to drive Lord Beerus away. Whis looked up at the castle. I'm looking forward to it, the prophecy fish replied. Whis. Coke tastes great, but Beerus is a lazy guy who likes to eat and does nothing. He can't really be compared to Lord Lu Fan. The prophecy fish sighed. Who said it wasn't? Whis nodded in acknowledgement. No, no. What does it mean that Lord Lu Fan resurrected Beerus? Does he want to give up his throne to Beerus? Has he had enough of being the gods of destruction? The prophecy fish suddenly thought of something and its face changed color. Master Lu Fan believes that Master Beerus is the strongest gods of destruction. If the strongest gods of destruction just disappears, he will have no gods of destruction to challenge in the future. Whis explained. I was shocked. It turns out he wanted to challenge other gods of destruction. The prophecy fish breathed a sigh of relief. Probably. Whis nodded. How strong is Lu Fan now? Can he beat Kampa? Asked the prophecy fish. It's hard to say without a fight. Whis shook his head, but at least for now, his Supreme Kai body should be comparable to Kampa's. Of course, this is just my speculation, and the specific details remain to be verified. What? His Supreme Kai body is already on par with Kampa. The prophet fish was surprised. Then what about his gods of destruction body? Wouldn't it be easy to beat Kampa? Well, it's hard for me to say now. When there's no fighting and neither of us has unleashed the power of gods of destruction, it's hard to tell. Whis smiled. The seventh universe, the edge of the universe. After traveling for nearly 30 hours, Kampa finally arrived at the area. From Supreme Kai to this position, 30 hours is considered fast. When Kampa arrived here, he found that the Super Dragon Ball had disappeared. And, as Kampa had expected, Foy had fainted. Damn Lu Fan! I'm not done with you. Kampa gritted his teeth in anger and hurried forward to wake up Fuwa. Even if you knock Supreme Kai unconscious, you should at least put him down in a safe place. You left him at the edge of the universe, what if he died? If he dies, I will disappear too. Fuwa woke up slowly. Hey? Master Kampa. Fuwa was stunned, looked at Kampa with wide eyes, scratched his head and asked, why is Master Kampa here? Kampa said nothing, but looked at Fuwa with a dark face. You guys, if you want to come to this place using instant transmission, you should at least bring me with you. You just leave without giving people a chance to react. I remember now. You asked me to come here to get the Super Dragon Ball. Fuwa patted his head, came back to his senses, and immediately smiled bitterly. I don't know who attacked me. I was knocked unconscious as soon as I arrived in this area. This familiar feeling seems to be similar to the last time I fainted. Chapter 95. I know who it is. It's the Supreme Kai of the Seventh Universe. Kampa gnashed his teeth in hatred. The Supreme Kai of the Seventh Universe? I have no grudge against him. Fuwa was a little confused. Let's not talk about this for now. I suddenly have a bad feeling. I feel that my other Dragon Balls will be taken by that Supreme Kai. Kampa suddenly thought of something and his face became extremely ugly. That's too bad. I must have fallen into a trap. This kid Lu Fan must have taken away my other Dragon Balls as well. Could it be that the Dragon of God has been summoned by him? Kampa's expression changed again and again. Lord Kampa, where are the other Dragon Balls? I'll go over and take a look. Fuwa's expression was also extremely solemn. The other Dragon Balls are all in our sixth universe, and their coordinates are. Kampa stated the coordinates. Kai Kai. Fuwa just recited the incantation and was about to perform instant transmission. Bang! Kampa slapped Fuwa so hard that he rolled several times in the air. Instant transmission was interrupted. Fuwa had a bewildered look on his face and looked at Kampa in a daze. Lord Kampa, why did you hit me? Fuwa asked. You idiot, take me with you. Kampa said with a dark face, you should have taken me with you before. If I was with you, you wouldn't have been ambushed by that guy. Well, that's true, it was indeed my negligence. Fu Hua nodded, feeling that Kampa was absolutely right. Kampa was speechless. This Supreme Kai looks pretty silly. But it should be better than the former Supreme Kai of the 7th universe. I'd better just hope for the best. Kai. Fu Hua used instant transmission with Kampa, and in just a moment he appeared in the starry sky where the Super Dragon Ball was previously placed. Sure enough, there was nothing in this starry sky. Super Dragon Ball is long gone. Damn Lu Fan. Just wait and see how I deal with you. Kampa was so angry that his whole body was shaking. Lu Fan? Is that the Supreme Kai? Fu Hua scratched his head. Humph, send me back to the Gods of Destruction realm right now. Kampa said through gritted teeth. Okay. Fu Hua did not object. Kai. Fu Hua used instant transmission with Kampa and returned to the Gods of Destruction world in just a moment. Oh my, isn't this Lord Supreme Kai? Vados greeted politely. Hello, Lord Vados. Supreme Kai Foi saluted. What happened, Master Kampa? You look annoyed. Vados asked. Kampa-sama's Super Dragon Ball was stolen by a Supreme Kai named Lu Fan. Fu Hua smiled bitterly and scratched his head. His right hand touched his ear and suddenly remembered that his Potara earrings were missing. Could my Potara earrings have been stolen by him as well? Wow, Lord Supreme Kai guessed it right. Vados said with a smile. Fu Hua. Is it really him? He is the Supreme Kai, so doesn't he have the Potara earrings inherited from the previous Supreme Kai? Or he could just condense a pair of earrings himself. Fu Hua was speechless. He seems to feel more accomplished when he snatches something away, said Vados. Foi didn't want to talk anymore. Don't steal my things, steal those from your 7th universe. Vados, the 7 Super Dragon Balls that I collected with great difficulty are all gone. Can you see if it's Lu Fan's wish that came true? Kampa said with a dark face. Okay, I'll check it out. Vados nodded and took the scepter to check it. Then I'll be leaving first. Foi waved to Kampa and Vados. Foi didn't want to get involved in these things. After saying this, Fu Hua disappeared immediately through instant transmission. Vados checked for a moment. Found it. It was indeed Lu Fan who summoned the Dragon of God and fulfilled the wish. Vados replied. What? Is that really the case? Kampa bared his teeth. It took me nearly 20 years to finally find these 7 Dragon Balls. As a result, you got the whole pot. You are so shameless. What did he wish for? Kampa asked with a dark face. Make a wish to revive the former Supreme Kai-sama. Vados said, this way, Master Beerus will be restored as well. Hey! Kampa was stunned again, a little confused. You should have said it earlier. You said you wanted to make this wish a long time ago. Then why should I bother? My wish is to have Beerus back. Lu Fan, you actually thought the same thing as I did. I can finally put my worries to rest. Why did Lu Fan make this wish? Kampa asked casually. Perhaps Lu Fan wants to challenge higher levels. Vados sighed. What do you mean? Kampa was confused. Lord Kampa, if you have time recently, please practice well. Vados said to Kampa. You mean? Lu Fan wants to challenge me. Kampa understood. Don't be ridiculous. He, a Supreme Kai, wants to challenge me, the Gods of Destruction? I've fought him before. I destroyed his coat with one blow. He should know that I was showing mercy at that time. Otherwise, his body would have been completely destroyed by me. No, Master Kampa, I feel like Lu Fan wants to use you as a stepping stone to continue to move higher. Vados murmured. What did you say? Kampa's face darkened. Am I just a petal? For example, challenge Lord Beerus or Lord Quitella who become the strongest gods of destruction. Vados smiled. Kampa. There was a brief silence. Vados, you'd better stop trying to make me laugh. If you say Lu Fan is the strongest Supreme Kai, I agree, but if he wants to challenge our gods of destruction, he's asking for trouble. Kampa snorted, showing a look of disdain. What Kampa doesn't know is that Lu Fan's true identity is a gods of destruction. Gods of destruction in the new universe. Except for a few angels and grand priests, other gods of destruction and Supreme Kai are unaware of this identity. The seventh universe, a certain planet. Supreme Kai and Jupiter have already escaped to this planet. The two of them looked cautiously in the direction of the Supreme Kai world. Then, Supreme Kai and Jupiter saw the Supreme Kai world returning to peace. A Supreme Kai world without Majin Buu. Supreme Kai and Jupiter looked at each other. Where's Majin Buu? Lord Supreme Kai. Jupiter was a little confused. I don't know, I indeed haven't found any trace of Majin Buu. Supreme Kai said solemnly. The two of them observed carefully for a long time. What Supreme Kai and Jupiter can confirm is that Majin Buu has mysteriously disappeared. Could it be that the cat man went over and sealed him away? Supreme Kai guessed. Chapter 96. It's very possible. He should be a little afraid of Majin Buu's strength. Jupiter nodded in agreement. Let's go back first. Supreme Kai suggested. No, Supreme Kai, I'll go back first. Jupiter suggested, if Majin Buu is not found, it won't be too late for Supreme Kai to come back. No, I can't let you take risks. Supreme Kai shook his head solemnly. For Supreme Kai, I will go through fire and water. Jupiter said solemnly. Swish. After saying this, Jabit immediately disappeared via instant transmission. Jabit has returned to the Supreme Kai world. Jabit explored the Supreme Kai world carefully and spent 3 days and 3 nights in fear. Now Jabit can be sure that Majin Buu disappeared. Jupiter invited Supreme Kai back. The Supreme Kai world of the 7th universe finally returned to its former tranquility. However, their main job is to search for Majin Buu. The 7th universe, Earth. The headquarters of the Universal Capsule Group. Bulma, you said that the 2 scions who will come to Earth in about half a year will not be Lu Fan and Vegeta, right? Dr. Briefs asked Bulma while eating. Who knows? Bulma shook her head. Oh my, if it's Lu Fan who comes here, he shouldn't be a bad guy. Bridget said. Maybe he has turned bad. Bulma pouted. Besides, even if Lu Fan is not a bad person, Vegeta is definitely a bad person. When he came to Earth 20 years ago, he wanted to kill my mother. Is there such a thing? Bridget didn't remember it clearly. Humph, Lu Fan is so shameless. He's been gone for over 20 years. And he never even came back to visit. Bulma said angrily. Yes, Bulma is still single. Is she waiting for Lu Fan to come back? Bridget said with a smile. What if Lu Fan really turns out to be a bad guy? Bulma, wouldn't you have waited in vain? Dr. Briefs adjusted his glasses. Bulma. Bulma wanted to cry. Lu Fan you hate. If you are really the 2 scions that Raditz mentioned, I will definitely break up with you. After finishing her meal, Bulma went back to her bedroom. Bulma came to the bathroom, soaked herself in the bathtub, and stared at the ceiling in a daze. Lu Fan, have you really turned bad? In another 6 months, will you join the scion named Vegeta to invade the Earth? Swish. Just as Bulma was thinking this, a shadow gradually emerged in the bathroom where Bulma was. Bulma was horrified and turned pale. Bang! The shadow turned into a ball of purple-red flame. The purple-red flame quickly changed its form and turned into the image of Lu Fan. Ah! Bulma exclaimed when she saw a strange man appear. The sound was so loud that the whole bathroom was shaking. But the next moment, Bulma looked carefully and found that the strange man looked a little familiar. Isn't this Lu Fan? Lu Fan, is that you? Bulma rubbed her eyes and looked over carefully. It's me. Lu Fan looked down at Bulma. From this position, it's just too good to be true. New universe, gods of destruction world. Hey, Lu Fan, you're drooling. Ruosi glanced at Lu Fan. Really? Lu Fan was stunned for a moment, wiped off his saliva, and wiped it on Ruoc's body. Rose. Lu Fan. Ruoc's chest heaved up and down with anger. You are so shameless. You actually wiped your saliva on me. Isn't Angel born with the ability to be at ease? Lu Fan said confidently, you didn't dodge it. Rose. Who knew you would spit on me? You're not attacking me, why should I dodge? Ruosi, you have to stay at ease at all times and not fall into the trap so easily. Lu Fan said. Ruosi glared. After 10 seconds. Hey, you're drooling again. Ruosi said with a dark face. Is there? Lu Fan scratched his head, wiped it casually, and reached out to Ruosi again. Ruosi reacted quickly this time and dodged quickly. See, the reaction speed was very fast this time, you should have this awareness. Lu Fan said with a smile. What did you see? Rose asked curiously, is it something delicious? Lu Fan raised his head and looked at Ruosi silently. Then, Lu Fan nodded vigorously and admitted, yeah, it is indeed delicious. It is delicious. As he spoke, Lu Fan's eyes gradually moved downwards. Ruosi didn't react at all. The main reason is that Ruosi is a relatively simple angel. Delicious, delicious. Lu Fan sighed, but my Supreme Kai body can't eat anything. In the seventh universe? Rose asked. Yes, yes. Lu Fan nodded. What kind of delicious food is it that makes you drool? Ruosi was a little confused. You don't understand. Lu Fan shook his head gently. Rose became even more curious. What on earth is this delicious thing? Too bad I can't see it. Only Lu Fan can see the Supreme Kai's body. Although I am angel, I cannot see what is happening on the scene through his body. Since it's delicious, just go and eat it. Let your Supreme Kai come back via instant transmission and take you there. Rose suggested. Wait a little longer. This kind of delicacy needs to be nurtured. You can't just eat it when you see it. Lu Fan pondered, and the longer this kind of delicacy is nurtured, the more delicious it tastes. Rosie was thoughtful. What kind of delicious food is this? The longer you keep it, the more delicious it tastes. How come I have never heard of the existence of such delicacy? The Coke you invented is already the best drink ever. You said so. I want to try it too. Rose smacked her lips. Yeah, let's eat together then. Lu Fan nodded vigorously. Really? Can I really enjoy delicious food with you? Ruoci's eyebrows moved slightly, thinking that Lu Fan was really nice. I'm just afraid you won't be able to eat it. Lu Fan murmured. Why can't I eat such delicious food? Ruosi was a little confused. It's easy for me to swallow, but for you, it may require a lot of courage. Lu Fan replied. Ruosi was even more confused. What kind of food tastes good to you but requires a lot of courage for me to eat it? I don't understand. Chapter 97. The Seventh Universe, Earth. Lu Fan? I'm not dreaming, is this really you? Bulma rubbed her eyes again. Yes, it's me. Lu Fan nodded, you are definitely not dreaming, I feel like I am dreaming. Lu Fan said, looking down at Bulma without blinking. Bulma. Bulma suddenly realized that she was soaking in the bathtub. Bulma's face turned red like an apple. Even the whole body seemed to have turned into a crayfish. Ah! You get out first! Bulma exclaimed. Don't worry, we haven't seen each other for a long time. You have grown into a big girl. Lu Fan sighed. Bulma. What does it mean to be not in a hurry? This is called the difference between men and women, okay? Are you still watching? It's a bit impolite. I'll go out and wait for you. Lu Fan said with a smile. Bulma. Swish. Lu Fan walked right through the wall and left. Bulma's beautiful eyes widened, her face showing shock. Where are the people? Suddenly disappeared? It's been more than 20 years since we last met. Have you learned how to walk through walls? Bulma quickly washed herself, changed her clothes, opened the door and went into the room. Lu Fan was already waiting in the room. It's really you, Lu Fan. Bulma walked forward and looked Lu Fan up and down. Lu Fan also looked Bulma up and down. I have to say, I can't recognize you when you're dressed, Lu Fan commented. Bulma. Hateful. Bulma blushed. Tell me, have you missed me over the years? Lu Fan asked. Humph, I don't miss you. You've been gone for 20 years. Bulma looked unhappy when she thought of this. I promised to come back to see you, and my best years have been wasted. It seems, you are almost 30. Lu Fan sighed, time flies, and years make people grow old. Bulma. What are you talking about? You make me sound like I'm old. Bulma shouted angrily. Women are like tofu dregs at the age of 30. Lu Fan said. You're the scumbag, you're the scumbag. Bulma's chest heaved up and down with anger. Are you a repeater? Lu Fan pondered. I'll fight you. Bulma rushed towards Lu Fan. They played around a bit for a while. Of course, it's not as dirty as some people think. The Lu Fan that appears here is the body of Supreme Kai, controlled by the main body of gods of destruction. And the body of this Supreme Kai is just a ball of energy. Yep, basically nothing can be done. Of course, the touch that sometimes appears on Supreme Kai's body will also be conveyed to Lu Fan in the new universe. Bulma, do you have a boyfriend? Lu Fan asked. How can you ask like that? If you want to pursue me, can you be more subtle? Bulma said with a blushing face. Did I ever say I wanted to pursue you? Lu Fan scratched his head. Bulma. I know, you're here to piss me off. Bulma glared. I just missed you and came to see you. Lu Fan said. Hey, I don't have a boyfriend. Bulma pouted. Has anyone ever pursued you? Lu Fan asked. Of course there are. I'm so beautiful, so cute and so outstanding, so many people pursue me. Bulma said proudly. Really? For example? Lu Fan put his hand on his chest. Bang! Lu Fan took out a crystal ball from his chest. Bulma's eyes nearly popped out of their sockets. Why is the egg so big? Where did this egg come from? Just now I clearly saw that your chest was flat. My crystal ball is magical. As long as you say the name, you can see him here. Lu Fan smiled and put the crystal ball on the bed. Really? Bulma said doubtfully, so I really have to tell you my name? Yeah, tell me about the people pursuing you. They can all be shown here. Lu Fan nodded. Oolong. Bulma said. Lu Fan. Lu Fan wiped the sweat off his face vigorously. You even said pig. Bang. A piglet emerged from the crystal ball. Bulma. It really shows. At this time, the little pig in the crystal ball is singing in the KTV. There are many beautiful girls around. Lu Fan took a look. This pig really knows how to enjoy himself. Where did he get so much money to sing in such a luxurious place? Lu Fan pondered, did he sell his pig pee? Bulma. Then, Lu Fan wiped the crystal ball with his big hand. Suddenly, the crystal ball showed clips of Oolong and Bulma's past. From the first time we met, to when this guy later moved to the city to live. There was no overly intimate behavior. Of course, Bulma couldn't see these past experiences. Change 1, change 1. Bulma said quickly, and mentioned another name. Lu Fan had never heard of this name, but the crystal ball also showed the man's appearance. In addition, some past fragments of this person and Bulma also emerged in the crystal ball. This man is Bulma's classmate and has been pursuing her. Later, Bulma left school and they lost contact. Bulma had no close contact with this man. Judging from these clips, this male classmate simply had unrequited love. It's really amazing. Bulma exclaimed, let's change to another one. Li Ping. Bang. Li Ping's figure emerged in the crystal ball. Li Ping is practicing hard in the mountains, striving to welcome Sion's arrival. At the same time, Lu Fan also saw the past fragments of Li Ping and Bulma through the crystal ball. Lu Fan knows pretty much the same thing, and is the one Bulma met during her search for the Dragon Ball. However, Bulma didn't have any feelings for Li Ping. On the contrary, Li Ping fell in love with Bulma at first sight. Later, Li Ping also pursued Bulma. But Bulma didn't like him. Do you want me to continue? They are all pursuing me. Bulma smiled, now you know how attractive I am. Well, I can give you a chance to pursue me. Usually I date gods. Lu Fan sighed, you really make it difficult for me. Yes, yes, I am the goddess. Bulma giggled. Lu Fan. I was actually speechless after what you said. Okay, all kidding aside, can this thing actually reveal anyone? Bulma inquired. Really? Lu Fan nodded. Can we see what Son Goku is doing? Bulma asked, you don't know Son Goku, do you? But I think you must have heard of him. Because he is also a scion. Chapter 98. I know him. I saw him in another place. Lu Fan said. Hey? When have you seen him? Bulma was stunned. It was 3 days ago. I met him 3 days ago. Lu Fan pondered. 3 days ago, did you see a ghost? Bulma exclaimed. Because Bulma knew clearly that Son Goku had died a long time ago, and had been dead for more than half a year. Lu Fan said he saw Son Goku 3 days ago. If that's not seeing a ghost, then what is it? What you said makes a lot of sense. I don't even know how to refute it. Lu Fan nodded. Bulma was silent. Stop joking and check on Son Goku. Bulma urged hurriedly. Bang! Lu Fan waved his hand slightly in the air. Suddenly, Son Goku's figure appeared in the crystal ball. Son Goku is currently training on King Kai's planet. King Kai also raised his right hand high, and a brick appeared in the air above him. Looking at Son Goku again, a ball of flame condensed in his right hand. Okay, let's go. You must keep up with the super speed of this brick. King Kai said. Call out. Bricks are moving fast. Son Goku concentrated and waved his hand violently. Bang! The bricks flying fast in the sky were blown to pieces by him. Well done, Son Goku, I didn't expect you to be so proficient with the spirit bomb. King Kai nodded in satisfaction. In this case, spirit bomb, combined with Kaioken, if everything goes well, you might actually be able to defeat Vegeta. I understand. I'll try my best. Son Goku responded. Hey? This is amazing. I can even hear the sound. Bulma exclaimed. Hey, I'm awesome, right? Lu Fan said, and then looked carefully at the past clips between Son Goku and Bulma. Although the two people have known each other for a long time. But unlike what Lu Fan imagined, Son Goku did not touch Bulma. Even Master Roshi, whom she met later, did not target Bulma. Because that's when Bulma said something. Bulma said, I have a boyfriend. Let's look at Gohan again. Bulma muttered, to be honest, the one I'm most worried about right now is Son Goku's son Gohan. He was taken away by Piccolo Daimao. Yet. Lu Fan nodded. Ahem, you don't know yet? That Piccolo Daimao is very scary. He once wanted to rule the whole world, but was finally defeated by Son Goku. Bulma explained, now I'm worried about what will happen after he takes Gohan away. You won't eat it, will you? Lu Fan thought. Bulma felt terrible at that moment. Don't say that. I don't dare to watch it if you say that. Then let's take a look. Lu Fan waved his hand gently. Bang! Son Gohan and Piccolo appeared in the crystal ball. Ouch! Son Gohan was beaten black and blue and was sitting on the ground groaning in pain. And sitting next to Son Gohan was Piccolo Daimao. Hey, in the past 6 months you've finally gotten over your crying habit. Piccolo chuckled. Hee hee. Son Gohan grinned and suddenly asked, has Uncle Piccolo ever fought with Dad before? Our battle isn't over yet. After I defeat Sion, your father will be next. Piccolo said calmly. But my father once said that after Piccolo's rebirth, he is no longer as vicious as before. Son Gohan smiled. Humph. Piccolo bared his teeth. I thought so too, although Mom and Grandpa are very scared of you. Son Gohan said with a smile. Stop talking nonsense and go to bed. Tomorrow's training won't be so easy. Piccolo shouted angrily. Son Gohan fell asleep. This little idiot. Piccolo gritted his teeth. Oh, they seem to be getting along pretty well. I was just worrying too much. Bulma breathed a sigh of relief. I was really worried that Piccolo would eat Gohan. Who else do you want to see? Lu Fan asked. No, no. Bulma shook her head. Lu Fan, tell me what you have been doing for the past 20 years. Me? If I were to talk about me, it would take several chapters to finish. Lu Fan held his chin in thought. Several chapters. Bulma was slightly stunned. If my story were to be compiled into a novel, with 2,000 words per chapter, I think the author would have to write at least 60 chapters to account for what happened during these 20 years, Lu Fan mused. Bulma didn't want to talk anymore. Your description seems to be correct. Then just tell me briefly. Bulma said. Simply put, I became a god. Lu Fan grinned. God. Bulma was stunned. Like the gods on earth. Let me give you a brief introduction. Lu Fan said, the gods of earth are the lowest level gods. And then? Bulma asked. Next is the galaxy god, that is, the god of this galaxy. For example, the galaxy where the Earth is located is called the Solar System, but the Solar System is the only planet with life, the Earth. Lu Fan explained, but in other galaxies, there are many planets with life, so in addition to the planet god, the galaxy god has a higher status. What about above the god of the galaxy? Bulma asked again. The next one is the god of the galaxy. Lu Fan said, it is equivalent to the god of this galaxy. The Milky Way. Bulma walked to the window, looked up at the sky, and exclaimed, the Milky Way is very huge. Even the universe spacecraft my father built has not flown out of the Milky Way. Do you know how big the Milky Way is? It is said that the diameter is 100,000 light-years. So, my destruction is far from enough. It's just to scare the star in the new universe. Lu Fan nodded. Yes. The diameter of the Milky Way reaches 100,000 light-years. The destruction condensed by Lu Fan at that time reached a diameter of 1 light-year. But in front of a galaxy, it is so small that it cannot be any smaller. In the mature universe, there are so many galaxies like this one. Bulma was confused. What are you saying? I don't understand. You don't have to worry about these details. Lu Fan said. Have you become a galactic god? Bulma asked. No, my throne is above the god of the galaxy. Lu Fan said. Above the galaxy god? What kind of god is that? Bulma asked in surprise. King of the realm. Lu Fan explained. King Kai. Bulma said. The short man next to Son Goku you see is King Kai, or more precisely, King Kai. Lu Fan said, there are 5 King Kais in total, divided into 4 King Kais in the east, west, south, and north, and the great King Kai who is in charge of the 4 King Kais. The King Kai is responsible for managing the universe in the east, west, south, and north. The great King Kai will convey the King Kai's information to the gods at a higher level than him, that is, the Supreme Kai. Chapter 99. You mean, you are the Supreme Kai? Bulma widened her beautiful eyes and stared at Lu Fan without blinking. Yet, you finally understood. Lu Fan nodded. Does this universe belong to you? Bulma asked. Bulma, you are so smart, and you are so right. Lu Fan nodded. I have managed our universe for many years, and it took a lot of effort to develop our universe to a certain level. Now I just happen to take a vacation, so I have time to come to you. Bulma fell silent. If this is true, it's absolutely horrifying. Is there a higher level of God than Supreme Kai? Bulma asked. Yes. Lu Fan nodded. What? There's more. Aren't you the god who controls the entire universe? Bulma was surprised. I know, is it the Supreme Kai? No, the god above Supreme Kai is Angel. Lu Fan replied. Angel? The kind with wings on its back. Bulma was slightly startled. The angel you are talking about is a myth on Earth. It is not the same concept as the angel I am talking about. Lu Fan said with a smile. Angel is above you. Bulma exclaimed. Yet, I just like the female angel to be on top of me, that's not a big deal. Lu Fan said, one day, everything will turn around. Bulma. I feel like you're driving. I can't even find the steering wheel because of the car you're driving. Wait a moment. Why do I feel something is not right? You said before that you were dating a god, a goddess. The goddess you are talking about is not a female angel, right? Bulma's heart trembled, and she looked at Lu Fan and asked. You're right. Lu Fan had nothing to hide. It would be better to tell Bulma about this as soon as possible. Bulma. Can't you just lie to me? Hey, then why did you come back to see me? Bulma was unhappy. God has his own flavor, and humans have their own flavor. They are different. Lu Fan said confidently. Bulma. There was silence. By the way, Lu Fan, do you know everything about Goku? Bulma asked. If you are really a god, you should know what happened on Earth, right? Yes, I already know everything. There is nothing in this universe that I don't know. Lu Fan nodded. Bulma was speechless. I seem to have heard what you said somewhere. That's right. It's that Karan-sama. He seemed to have said something similar before. So, where's that Prince Vegeta you were with? Bulma inquired. He left halfway. Lu Fan smiled. By the way, it's worth mentioning that he is one of the 2 scions who came to Earth this time. Aren't there 3 scions? Bulma asked after a pause. The other one is me. Lu Fan said with a smile. Bulma fell silent. So, if you're a god, you can defeat both of them, right? Bulma inquired. Bulma, you have to understand that fighting between humans and the existence or non-existence of the Earth are normal phenomena in the universe. Lu Fan explained. Humph, after all this talk, you don't want to take action anymore. Bulma snorted. It's okay, I can keep you safe. Lu Fan said with a smile. Boom boom boom. At this time, there was a knock on the door. Bulma, it's Mom. Bridget's voice sounded outside. Mom, the door is not locked, please come in. Bulma said. The door was opened by Bridget. The moment Bridget walked in, the first thing she saw was Lu Fan next to Bulma. Oh? Aren't you? Lu Fan? You've grown so big. Bridget asked in surprise. Hello, Auntie. Lu Fan responded politely. When did you come back? Bridget asked with concern. You've been gone for 20 years. Bulma has missed you so much during these years. Bulma. Mom, are you a bad teammate? Yeah, I miss Bulma too. Lu Fan smiled. Hey, what you miss is the female angel. Bulma pouted, looking unhappy. Female angel? Who is she? Bridget was stunned. Mom, don't ask so many questions. Bulma snorted. Lu Fan, what have you been doing these years? Are you still traveling in the universe? Bridget asked. You could say that. I've been saving our universe all these years. Lu Fan replied seriously. What Lu Fan said is absolutely right. Lu Fan has indeed been saving the 7th universe over the years. If it weren't for Lu Fan, the overall level index of the 7th universe would be the second to last in the entire universe. The comprehensive level index mentioned here does not refer to the combat power of each universe. The so-called comprehensive level index actually refers to the balance of the universe. For a universe to develop over the long term, a necessary balance is important. Just like Grand Priest said. If there are too many humans and lives in this universe, the resources of the universe will gradually be exhausted and reach a point where they are insufficient. On the contrary, if there are too few humans and lives in this universe, then this universe will gradually lose its vitality. So it is very important to strike this balance. Therefore this is also the main work of gods of destruction and supreme Kai. Save the universe, have an ideal. Bridget didn't know how to respond, so she could only reply, since you're back, stay and accompany Bulma. I thought so too, Auntie. Lu Fan nodded. Bulma remained silent. Time passed day by day. About 15 days. Earth's Shenron appears. The sky suddenly turned dark and Shenron appeared. Is Goku resurrected? Bulma looked up at the sky. Yes, because tomorrow morning, the 2 scions will arrive on Earth. Lu Fan nodded. What? So soon? It's earlier than the scheduled time. Bulma said in surprise. At 11 a.m. the next day, Nappa's Universe spacecraft finally landed on Earth. Boom! A spherical universe spaceship fell from the sky and crashed into the suburbs of Dongdu. A large meteorite crater appeared on the asphalt road in Dongdu. Several cars were smashed to pieces around the crater. The residents nearby were terrified. What happened? It seems like something suddenly fell from the sky. Look! It's a round thing. Many people gathered around the edge of the crater, craning their necks to look inside. Crunch! The hatch of Nappa's Universe spacecraft opens. Nappa stepped out. Nappa's appearance was immediately sensed by Piccolo, Son Gohan, Krillin, Tien Shinyan, Li Ping, Jiaozi and others. Who is he? A big bald head. Is it an alien? They look very similar to us, except that their clothes are a little weird. Are they really aliens? Many people on Earth were talking about it. Nappa's mouth corners slightly raised, forming a shallow arc. Hey hey! Let me give you a welcome gift first. Chapter 100. Boom! Nappa put his index and middle fingers together and lifted them up sharply. A powerful energy spread wildly in all directions with Nappa as the center. There was only a loud earth-shaking noise, and the entire Dongdu was immediately razed to the ground. Your Highness Vegeta, I have successfully arrived on Earth and also brought them a gift. Nappa greeted Vegeta through the probe. Humph, whatever you want. Just leave Kakarot to me and you can take care of the rest. Vegeta snorted. This is a good time for me to warm up. I'll go find them now and find the guy who killed Raditz first. Nappa said, pressing the button on the detector and starting to detect the combat power values on the planet. Then, Nappa was slightly stunned. What? Vegeta asked. That's really strange, Vegeta, there are more than just one or two reactions when the combat power exceeds 1000. Nappa was a little surprised. Humph, there's nothing strange about that. They must have been training hard during this year. Vegeta was not surprised. Their combat power is only over 1000 points. With your combat power value, you can easily crush them. You're right, Vegeta. Nappa nodded, I found it. There are two strongest combat reactions in the same position. I'm going to go find them and have some fun. Call out. Nappa soared into the sky, flying in the direction of Piccolo and Son Gohan. Ha ha ha, Vegeta, the Earth's gravity is really small. I feel like I can move very flexibly. Nappa laughed wildly. Vegeta ignored him. It's as if I've never been to Earth. Here he comes, only one person. Piccolo said in a deep voice, he plans to come to us. Yes. Son Gohan responded nervously. Lu Fan, please take out your ball and let me see it. Bulma said quickly. Lu Fan. I don't know which ball to take. Can I take it out in front of you? Isn't it a bit early? Hey, Lu Fan, what are you hesitating about? Hurry up. Bulma said. Which ball? Lu Fan asked. Of course the one that can check Sion. Bulma was stunned for a second and immediately responded. Explain it clearly, otherwise it will easily lead to misunderstanding. Lu Fan wiped the sweat off his face. Hey, what are you thinking about? Bulma said unhappily, your people are coming to conquer the earth, and you still dare to make such a stupid joke. I'm not kidding. Lu Fan grinned. I don't know when Goku will be back. Bulma sighed. Lu Fan took out the crystal ball. Bulma immediately looked in the direction of the crystal ball. Nappa's figure also appeared in the crystal ball. Nappa was flying in the direction where Piccolo and Son Gohan were. Where is he going? Bulma asked. Gohan and Piccolo's place. Lu Fan said. Quickly cut to Gohan and Piccolo, see if they are ready, if not find a way to notify them. Can this thing talk to them? Bulma inquired. Okay. Lu Fan nodded and switched the scene to Son Gohan and Piccolo, explaining, if you want to talk, just tap on it. There's nothing to be afraid of that guy. We are much stronger than we were a year ago. Piccolo tore off his cloak and headscarf and comforted Son Gohan. Yes. Son Gohan nodded, a little nervously. Great, it seems the two of them already know that Sion is coming to their place. Bulma breathed a sigh of relief. What? Something is approaching over there. Piccolo's face suddenly changed color, there is also someone coming this way from the other side. Didn't they say there was only one Sion coming? Son Gohan was a little panicked. Bang! Krillin's figure suddenly appeared in the sky. Krillin fell from the sky and landed next to Piccolo and Son Gohan. Is it Sion? Son Gohan was startled. Piccolo recognized Krillin at first sight. Hi, long time no see, Piccolo. Krillin greeted. It's you. I remember you. You were swept away by the tail of that guy named Raditz. You are really weak. Piccolo smiled contemptuously. Krillin. Without exposing anyone's scars. Although I am weak, you are making me sound too weak. What are you doing here? Piccolo asked again, you are only a hindrance here. You are useless. Get out of here. Don't say that. I have made a lot of progress. Maybe I will be the one who destroys Sion in the end. Krillin laughed. Humph, whatever you want. Piccolo stopped trying to persuade her. If you want to die, that is your freedom. Are there any other idiots coming here? Piccolo asked. Yes, everyone will come. I'm closest to here, so I'll be here first. Krillin nodded. I remember, you are from Master Roshi. Son Gohan came back to his senses and looked at Krillin with a look of surprise. My name is Krillin, and you look exactly like Goku when he was a child. Krillin smiled. Dad always talks about you, saying that you are small but very powerful. Son Gohan said. Saying that I'm small is really unfair. How tall does he think he is? Krillin said unhappily. Will you fight alongside us? Son Gohan asked excitedly. Yet. Krillin nodded and asked in a low voice, you must have suffered a lot training with a guy like Piccolo. When he first took you away, I thought he was going to eat you. Son Gohan smiled awkwardly and quickly defended Piccolo, actually, Uncle Piccolo is a good man. Stop chatting there, that guy is already here. Piccolo said coldly. The three of them immediately looked up into the sky. I saw a figure appear in the sky. This person also has a bald head. Also a bald guy. Piccolo said. Krillin. Piccolo, what do you mean? Is that guy Sion? His aura is so strong. It's really scary to sense his aura at such a close distance. I don't know if my trick will work on him. Krillin murmured. Bang! Nappa fell from the sky and landed in front of the three people. It seems like you can't wait any longer. Nappa said with a smile. That's right. Piccolo snorted. From your voice, I can tell that you are the one who killed Raditz. Am I right? Nappa said with a smile, and then said to Vegeta through the detector, Vegeta, I have found the guy who killed Raditz. This guy seems to be a Namek. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like and subscribe to the channel so you are notified of future uploads. You can find the next parts in the playlist visible on the screen or on my channel. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.